Is it right to have a relationship when you're going through not so good time? That's a good question. The correct answer to that question is it depends. It depends on what stage of your life you're in. If you're still in the you don't have that much emotional strength stage of your life, then you probably shouldn't, because usually our confidence kind of spills over into other aspects and areas of, your life. So if you have a lack of confidence in one area and you're still not that strong emotionally, then it'll usually spill off into other areas and stuff like that. So I wouldn't advise you to go through a bad or a rough patch in your life while you have a relationship if you can't handle being able to not transfer that aggression over. You know what I'm saying? Which I would think is most people. Most people they can't handle that. So for the most part, you should be dealing with whatever situations you're going through alone. And it's kind of funny you mentioned that, because I have a whole course that I'm working on at the time. I don't know if this is a good idea, but I'm working on 3 different products at the same time. And one of them is going to be called Isolation. And it's pretty much everything I know up until this point about how to actually get things done. You know what I mean? Oh, there's more comments coming in. Hold on. Oh yeah, that's the one. You low-key sound like the Juice. Huh? Like Juice Kina? Who's that? I don't know. No, I don't know what you're saying. Do you? Oh, troll. This guy used the right words, I swear. I try to. She's sending me mixed signals. What should I do? You should fire a compliance test. A compliance test takes away the entire uncertainty around mixed signals. There's no such things as mixed signals when you fire the correct compliance test. I don't care how mixed the signals are. If you ask her to do something for you that is plain and simple, and she refuses or gives you defiance, boom, there's a signal you need. It's not mixed once you know what to look for. There's a video on my channel called the vending machine test. It's a test I came up with a while ago, and that's basically just give her some money out of your wallet, your card, cash, whatever, and just say, see that vending machine over there? I'm a little hungry, I'm a little parched, get me something from there, surprise me. The goal is to not sound too polite or accommodating, and to be as blunt and abrupt as possible. That way, you're not supplicating to her or asking her for it. You're giving her the opportunity to surprise you. And she has a few things she can do. She can either, for the most part, defy or comply with you. She can playfully comply or playfully defy you and stuff like that. But basically, it's it doesn't matter what the actual answer you get is. All that matters is you now know where you stand in her mind. If at the end of all that you don't see a bag of chips and a Coke in front of you, you know what you're dealing with. So fire a compliance test. That's the answer to that question. Just putting my mind out on words. I don't know what that means. Niger bro, what's up now? How do you attract an older woman as a young guy? That's the easiest thing in the world. In fact, I would advise you, if you're under the age of 25, the only thing you have control over at that time is your body. So work aggressively on your sex appeal, and that will do 80% of the heavy lifting for you in your game. The best part is, because you have sex appeal at that age, you are now open to women over the age of 30 that are hot. So if you're wondering why you can't get girls under the age of 25, it's probably because you're trying to do 2 things wrong. 1, you're going for girls around your age or younger. Don't do that. Waste of time. Because you're in that demographic, you're competing with guys that are way more, established than you, way older than you, way more experienced than you. You're not going to win. Or you might win, but it'll require a lot of things to be aligned in the correct order that you just don't have any control over. So no need to compete on that plane. I would advise you MILFs. Find a lot of cool, this is what I did in my early 20s, MILFy Spanish broads, those MILF blondes with big fake tits, that type. That is your demographic now until you hit the age of, I want to say, 24, 25. Work on your sex appeal, work on your verbal game, work on your discretion and your ability to keep a secret. That'll be a massive skill to have when you're dealing with women that old, because a lot of the time, a lot of them will be in very unique situations, PhD holders and CEOs and business owners, women that don't want their business getting out there a lot. So you just want to keep it on the DL. That's one thing you have to get good at doing. And the best part is, it's great for your self-esteem. It's great for your ego. It's great to know what's possible for you, even at that age. You know what I mean? So that's how you do it. Thanks, bro. No problem. I don't know they carry last. Not sure. Benny, Afana. Women are draining your life force. If you want to be a god, you cannot release your power ever. That is false. There's no point to hoarding power indefinitely. At some point, you need to release your power. Now, the key is to do it intelligently. The key is to make sure you're doing it at the right time, for the right reason, for the right purpose. Fine. But this teaching of just withhold your power indefinitely forever is fucking false. And I'm tired of this shit. I think in general, this would probably be, and this is just me telling you how I think in my mind, right? But I really do believe this will be one of the biggest contributions to this industry that I leave, is getting guys to understand the whole point of building your power, building yourself up, building up your value, is to eventually cash it in. There is no fucking point. There is no point. I really should stop cursing. This is TikTok Live. But there is no point to having and building and, gathering and accumulating all that power and value if at some point you don't exercise it. Do you understand? At some point you need to exercise that power, or else it is useless. This is something I've mentioned before on the live before, but I'll say it again, just so for those of you that didn't know or didn't hear me, you'll understand this. This book called The Psychology of Money. There's a book out there called The Psychology of Money. And I'll tell you why I stopped reading that book after like the first 2 chapters. Here's why. And it's a book about like money and, investing, how to invest, all that shit. There's a story in the book that goes as follows. There was once a man that worked as, I believe, a plumber or a mechanic, something like that, a really tough menial job. And he worked for about an odd number of decades, making something like $50,000, $60,000 a year. Now check this out, right? After all those, I think 30 years of working, he eventually dies. And it comes to light that all this time, while he was working his ass off, he had been putting a significant amount of his paychecks away in some kind of investment, like a Roth IRA or a hedge fund, something like that. And basically, all the money he had invested, about $100 or something or so, $200,000, $280,000 total, had compounded over 30 years into $7 million. So at his death, he had $7 million. And, well, he died, unfortunately, but that $7 million went to his wife and his wife's 2 children. Now, I say his wife's 2 children because those kids were his stepchildren that she had gotten from a previous marriage. Okay, now we know the story. Let me tell you why when I first read that, I almost fucking cried. That's the worst nightmare story I've ever heard in my life. So let me get this straight, right? This guy builds his wealth up for 30 years, $7 million, and didn't even get to enjoy a cent of it. Like, he never sold a stock, nothing. He didn't even go out one day to figure out, okay, let me know what it's like to spend $20,000 in dinner in a month, just for the hell of it. Didn't enjoy his money at all. On top of that, not only being a lifestyle failure because he failed lifestyle-wise, all that money in the end goes to stepchildren, the propagation of someone else's seed. So from a financial standpoint, he's successful, but from a lifestyle standpoint, he sucks. And from a biological and evolutionary point of view, he couldn't even propagate his own seed with all those resources he gathered. It went to someone else. Someone else's kids, the propagation of someone else's seed. That is terrible. That is a nightmare. And I do not want that for you. Okay, at some point, you have to understand the whole point of delaying immediate gratification is so that you can have gratification later. But you have to have gratification later. There's no point in withholding gratification forever. That is stupid. All right, that's just silly. Learn how to cash your value in correctly. I have an entire free course about it. Click the link in my bio. Next question. God, I spent a lot of time with these questions because I like to be detailed, man. Already seen these. How do you maintain multiple relationships at once? The key to that, honestly, is you have to be the kind of guy that provides a value that they have never seen or heard of anywhere before. A unique story, individual, and experience. I think I have to make a whole video about that and put that on YouTube at some point. But the reason guys like me can date multiple women, and the women, even though they're not, and I really want to make this clear, it's not like the women are like elated and excited to share me, but they realize that what other choice do they have? Like, I have 4 women in my life right now. It's kind of silly because I'm actually going through 2 breakups at the same time right now. I had to get rid of a couple girls last week. That is what it is. So I'm down to 4. 4 girls in my life right now. They're all aware of the other girls, right? How is that possible? Because somewhere in the back of their mind, they have recognized that getting a 4th of me, a 4th of my attention, is better than getting 100% of some other sucker out there. That means you have to build yourself in their minds to that point. That's a whole video. I don't want to dwell too long on that. All right, let's see. How do I dial in my diet? Have a goal. If you have a goal, you will do everything correctly to meet that goal. You won't do anything to mess up that goal. For instance, if you're overweight and you're looking to cut weight, and you have a vision in your head for how you want to look like and how you want to function at some point in time, or at a specific point in time, then you know that having that cake is not going to get you there faster. Because if you're like me, you want to get to the goal as quickly as possible because you're an impatient type of dude. So why would I destroy my own progress by having that cheesecake? I love cheesecake, but I'm in cutting season and I want to cut weight. I want to cut down to 195. I want to cut down to 190. I'm walking around right now at 205. Why would I destroy that chance by getting in the way of my own progress and having that cake? It's simple logic. It's not willpower. It's just logic. Just apply logic. I've always told people you'll get further in life if you apply logic and analytical thinking instead of trying to willpower your way through it. That's just unnecessary. You're going about doing things the hard way. To get the best women, always put yourself needs above everything else. True. Very true. I know it's stupid. No, it's not. But how do you tell if a girl likes you? Because some girls are hard to read. Compliance test. Compliance test. I don't care if she has the meanest resting bitch face on her face. I don't care if she says to you, to your face, I hate you, I find you disgusting, you're ugly. If you give her a compliance test and she complies, boom, she likes you. Literally drop something by mistake and go, oh, I'm sorry, can you pick that up for me? I have a bad back. If she bends down and picks it up, boom, that's all you need to know. Even if while she's picking up, she's going, you're so ugly, I hate you, you're gross. She picked it up. Stupid, she picked it up. As long as they pass the compliance test, they like you. They like you in that moment because it is subject to change. But compliance test, just compliance test. Here, hold my phone for a second. I got to go to the bathroom. And I saw some rough guys going in there. I don't want to get jumped. If they jump me, though, call the cops on my phone. Leave her the phone. If you come back and you see her phone with her, there you go. She likes you. This is why I don't teach stuff like, if she flicks her hair twice or if she blinks. Women fake those all the time. That's why I don't even believe in like choosing signals. Women will send you choosing signals even when they don't find you attractive, just to get out of a bind or get some attention in the meantime or some other silly stuff like that. So compliance test. Just compliance test. You'll know everything you need to know. Okay. Let's see. It's called the crimson oil. It opens your pineal gland. I have no idea what that is. I probably got to do research on that. So Fridays for Amanda and Saturdays for Amy, and be consistent every week. If you want to do a weekly schedule with your girls, that's fine. Me personally, I don't do that. Well, I do something like that, but not quite. I just tell them like this. Leave so-and-so day open for me. Right? And then, okay, for instance, I'll have little trips and holidays with my girls, depending on the girl, the way she's been behaving so far. Because again, you can't just reward women with your time and attention because you miss them. You have to distribute your attention correctly depending on how they treat you. So if she's been a good girl, sure. And stuff like that, right? So reward here, reward there. And this will rarely happen, especially when you're starting out, but if they're all misbehaving, go without. You don't need to see any of them hoes. Get new ones. That's kind of the point. When they begin to misbehave, get a new girl. Because this is another mistake people make. They stop at like 2 girls or 3 girls. When you have enough girls, they begin to form cliques and factions. Especially the first 2, they'll usually begin to click with each other and gang up against you, which is why I go and get a 3rd one to add into the mix. Create more competition anxiety. So much to go into it with that, but you know, it's your life. Figure out how you want to distribute your time and attention, because that's what's the most important thing there. Your time and your attention. Okay, just eat 1 meal a day. I would not advise that, but I'm not gonna lie, I've tried that at one point because I was 250, 240 something. I was really big. I ate a lot of cheesecake, and I was trying to cut down weight as quickly as possible. And I mean, I'm Nigerian, so we do have that crazy metabolic advantage, but you know, it did work. I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty much a starvation diet, and I was down like 15 pounds in, I want to say 2.5 weeks. It was crazy, but I would not advise that. I lost fat, and I'm pretty sure I lost muscle as well. How do you compliance test a girl online? Perfect question. I go through this in my course, The Interview. That'll be out soon. I'll let you guys know the exact date I'm launching that. But I'll answer that for you right here real quick because you're on the live. Lucky you. The best way I found to compliance test online is get her to send you pictures. Don't get crazy now. I'm not talking like those lewd type of pictures. I'm just saying, hey, like a question I'll ask all the time is, send me a picture of you, or send me a plethora of pictures, I'll say sometimes, so I can choose one to have as my contact list, or this is for when you get her number. Like, oh, I don't want to have to keep texting and not knowing who this is. I want to save your number, send me a picture so I can attach it to your name so I can know who's texting me when your texts pop up. Another good one is just ask her any question that will require her to go a little deeper into her life. So questions about what she intends to do in a few years. You probably won't be asking that initially, to be honest. That'll be if you're texting for a long period of time. But up front, the compliance test itself is like, give me your number. Like, for instance, you meet a girl on Instagram or on Tinder. The first compliance test you should be giving is, I don't like so-and-so app. It'll be easier to reach me on my number. So you give her your number to text you later, or you get her to give you hers, and then you can get to texting that way. That would usually be the first compliance test you give her. Clearly, if you don't get the number, or sometimes you'll get the occasional, I don't give my numbers out to people. I don't give my number out to people. Here's my Snap instead. Or are you on Snap? The simple solution to that is pull back, demonstrate some high value by saying something a little teasy like, oh, really, Snap? What are we, children? We're not 12. We're grown adults. Give me your number. Don't worry. I promise not to sell it to Nigerian scammers. I'm Nigerian. I make that. What the hell was that just now? Whatever that was, I'm pretty sure it was one of you. Thank you. But, you know, send me your number. Just put a flirty, teasy joke behind it, and that usually goes well. They go, oh, okay, here's my number, or give me yours, whatever it is. Sometimes it's just a safety issue. Give them your number instead, if that's the case. So, yeah. The number will usually be the first compliance test. You keep up the great work, bro. I've been taking notes. Thank you. And yes, I tell people a lot. I'm a wealth of knowledge when it comes to this shit. I know it sounds arrogant to say, but I have been doing this for nearly 9 years. You learn a lot when you do anything for 9 years. So I talk fast. I think even faster. I stumble over my words sometimes. It is best, because I ramble and digress a lot, to write stuff down when I'm speaking. Not because I'm some god or whatever. It's just, even I need to fucking write shit down. Where do you think this habit of just writing and graphing stuff out came from? It's just, I talk a lot. I think even more. So, you know, the English language is limiting. If you speak multiple languages, you know what I mean by that. Let's see. I don't think it works. Oh, you're talking to someone else. How do you find things to talk about with women? She's supposed to do most of the talking. What cues? Okay. The key is not to find things. The key is to let things come up. If you don't know what I mean by that, then think about a conversation you have with your friend. You don't have to plan a conversation out with your friend. Shit just pops the fuck up. You talk, they talk back. Next thing you know, you're talking about all these other different things. Conversations, if done correctly, don't appear to be planned. Not that they cannot be planned. In fact, if you're not used to talking to women, I would highly recommend you memorizing lines and memorizing stories to tell, just to, fill in the blank space. But the key is to do it in a serendipitous manner. That is to say, you must do it in such a way that it looks like it's not planned. Okay? If you don't know what I mean, look at stand-up comics. Every stand-up comic tests their joke out in multiple locations before it gets to the point where they add it to the special. They go through each routine, every single word over and over and over again. A stand-up comedian I really love for this is Aries Spears, because he literally says the exact same words for the exact same jokes. Like, you'll see different comedians perform the same joke in different clips, but they'll use different words here, use different words there. Aries Spears, it's almost like he has the entire routine memorized, and he just says the exact same thing over and over and over and over again. And he gets the exact same result over and over and over and over again because he's consistent like that. So I would highly recommend getting a story, getting into, storytelling as a skill. Because between me and you, that's the foundation of my game personally, and honestly the foundation of my TikTok account. Every time I tell a story in a video on my TikTok, that video just instantly blows the hell up. Every time. The only reason I'm not at 300K followers yet, because I'm just compiling stories correctly is not easy. So those videos will be few and far between, but eventually we'll get there. Let's see. Oh, as for her talking, yeah, you should be asking her questions you care about in general, man. That's the key. You should definitely be asking her questions you care about what is this? Oh, I didn't make it in time. Sorry, Hakeem. That's the name I just saw. Sorry about that, bro. Maybe next time. Or you can send it again, I guess. But yeah, ask her questions you genuinely care about. Like, if you care about, I don't know, me personally, I ask girls stuff like, what's your relationship like with your father? Not because I'm necessarily looking for a girl that has a great relationship with her father. In fact, a good number of my girls don't have great relationships with their father. But it does let me know where she's at mentally and how to attack from there. Because a lot of game is just making reads. It's like fighting, right? When you're fighting someone, especially with the stand-up, you're just trying to throw feints and fakes out there to see how they respond, how they react, and get a good idea of what their game plan is. Game is the same way. I want to know what she prioritizes. And a good way to know that is ask her, what is your relationship like with your father? If she has abandonment issues, then she's probably going to attack relationships with men with that expectation that at some point the man is going to abandon her. So you got to account for that. If she has a really good father, like he was there for every basketball game, every soccer game, then she probably doesn't respect men, ironically. And this is what I keep telling guys. There's actually two kinds of daddy issues. There's the abandonment daddy issue, and there's the other kind that's not talked enough about, which is when the father is too present in her life, and as a result, she doesn't respect men. There's no respect for men. A good example of that is this chick, Lori Harvey, the one that just dumped my twin, Michael B. Jordan. Hey, auntie, my twin. Yeah, Lori Harvey's a good example. That's a girl, when I look at her, that doesn't have respect for men or a sense of urgency around good men, because it's very clear she had, she was daddy's little girl growing up. You know what I mean? So there's no sense of urgency around it. It's unfortunate, but it's true. That happens. Oh, you're the one that sent the hat and the mustache. Marksy. Appreciate you, man. So what's your idea of a first date? A first date is not, I don't even call them first dates anymore. I call them interviews. And like I said, I have a course coming out about that. I will be as detailed and thorough as possible, and that I'm still adding stuff to it as we speak. How do I reverse the too nice, bubbly guy perception I have? I know women don't like that, but I'm a happy guy myself too. In fact, I bet you if you asked my girls, they would still say I'm like on the goofier side of things, as much as I come off as like really stoic sometimes. The truth is I'm a generally like playful guy, man. I not too long ago, in fact, before I came here to do this, I had one of my girlfriends and a fucking Imanari choke. I do jujitsu, so I practice all my jujitsu moves on my bitches. That's what I do. I have a video out right now that I just released like 2 or 3 hours ago, and it's just me punching a chick's booty, man. Like I'm a playful guy. I'm playful and nonchalant. So you don't have to necessarily change that, but you do have to put a price tag on your time, on your attention. It doesn't matter how playful you are, as long as she knows that the experience of you is a rare and prestigious opportunity. Does that make sense? Like, you don't have to be a brooding, quiet off in the corner type of dude. You just have to be like, just demonstrate distribute your time and attention correctly, and that'll usually solve it all. You don't have to be a bad person all of a sudden. You just have to know when to be firm with your boundaries and your time accordingly. Class is in session. Yes, it is. Dang, I wish I was a good storyteller. I wasn't either. Shit, English is not my first language, or my second, or my third. The point is, you don't start out a good storyteller. Nobody does. Nobody is born with good storytelling. It's a skill you have to train for. And you got to think about storytelling as 3 parts. There's the beginning, there's the middle, there's the end. It's like writing a letter, except you're conveying that letter with your entire being. There's a reason I talk with my hands a lot, because it makes me animated and it induces the kind of emotions that I want in the person I'm speaking to. So when you're combining that with good storytelling, good eye contact, good vocal tonality, and just the ability to say things with, again, good timing, but timing is not something you necessarily train for. It's something you just kind of get a feel for as you go. So I would say just tell more stories with your friends, with your buddies, with your coworkers. Just be like, hey, let me tell you a story. That next thing that you want to say, like that cool thing that happened to you, or that celebrity gossip thing that you guys want to talk about, because I know some people like to talk about that from time to time. I kind of had to get into it because of the industry I'm in, but you get the point. Just start saying it like a story and really understand how things build up over time. So it'll usually start out low energy, but by the end of it, it's a crescendo. It's a climax, right? It's like sex. It's like good sex. It starts out slow. It just ends up violent in the end. You'll get a feel for it as you go, though. But practice. Just pick up scientists. You're a one, bro. Blessings. Thank you. Thank you so much to Michael Waterfire. I like that name. Thanks, man. Lol, attack. Love it. Yeah, we attack shit around here. Thoughts on online dating? I'm not a fan. Me neither, man. I am not a fan of online dating, but I love the game aspect of it, man. I'm good at online dating because, again, this is my industry. This is what I do. I've done it for a long time. Yeah, I generally don't like online game for your general game, and I'm gonna explain what I mean by that. Cold approach is the best way to meet a woman, for many different reasons. I have to make 3 videos about this that'll be an hour long each. But the point is, online game isn't good for even those of us that are like killing it in the online world, because it's still too much work to do for literally the exact same girls that you meet in the real world. I've always told people, you make meeting girls either easier or harder for yourself depending on the environment you meet them in. So again, cold approach is still the best way. I walk into a Target, a Walgreens. Here's a trick I learned a few years ago. I go to Ulta Beauty. If you guys don't know what Ulta Beauty is, it's one of the bigger makeup accessory shops. I walk in there and I just tell the chick that works there, I'm getting something from my girlfriend, which is usually true. But if you don't have a girlfriend, it's fine. You can say that. Or I'm getting something from my sister. I'm getting something from a friend of mine. She's female. I have no idea what I'm doing here. Can you teach me? She needs this, that. Do some research before you get there, just to know the name of a few things. And 9 times out of 10, the girl that works there is hot. So boom, right there, you already have an excuse to open. She's helping me. And then from there, you increase the sexual tension. You make things man to woman. Man, they really got you wearing this goofy uniform? That's crazy. Like, why would they do that to you? That's so messed up. If I worked a job where they made me wear that, I would quit the very moment they put this on me. I would just walk out. This is crazy. You really like wearing this? Oh no, it's really comfortable. Okay, you know what? I'll give you that. There is some level of sex appeal to it, but come on. I know you clean up nice. I know you clean up nice. Yeah, I did. Boom, you're in there. You're talking. Or sometimes you meet a girl that's also shopping there that's hotter than the girls that work there. And yes, that'll happen frequently if you go to places like Ulta, Whole Foods, and Target. All the big booty blonde bitches are in Target. Take it from me. I don't know why. Just go to Target. But yeah, the easiest way to meet a girl is cold approach. Online is too much work to meet the exact same girls. Like, if you ever meet guys that are honestly, like, they honestly believe the only way to meet a true 10 is on a yacht party, this is where they get it from. It's because they spend too much time online. Listen, dude, at some point, I don't care how bad a 10 she is, at some point, she too needs to breathe, eat, sleep, take a shit. At some point, my G, she's going to go to the grocery store. They all do. We are all human. We all exist. At some point, she's going to show up at the gas station to fill up her Nissan Altima or whatever the hell she drives. They're human like us. So the best way to meet them is out where humans exist. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, don't go to the barber shop because the chances of meeting a girl that you find attractive there are very slim. And even if there is a girl that you find attractive in there, there's a good chance that she came with her boyfriend and is also getting a cut. So go to a place that makes sense to meet women. Parking lot. Going out of a store. I used to do this a lot when I was like 23, 24. I just kind of discovered this hack. Thrift stores. A lot of these hippie type chicks, these really hot hippie chicks that think it's a flex to dress head to toe in thrift store wear, go to thrift stores a lot. Like, it's really shocking, but it's true. Boom, strike a conversation in there. Thrift stores, great place. If you're into hippie chicks. I know not everyone is, but, I have my little, thing from here and there, I do my little thing. But I would say, especially when you're starting out, really stay away from online game. Even, let me put it like this. Even when you become the elusive top 1% man, it is still ultimately not worth it to be online. It just isn't. Because you would have to put in 10 times the amount of work to get the girls online than you would in just real life, riding around in your Lamborghini anyway. You know what I mean? Why compete unnecessarily? Don't do that to yourself. Go to a Target or something, okay? Not a fan. Is PUA making a comeback? It was big in 2013, 2014, then RZ went down, and so did all of the forums. Is PUA making a comeback? If it does make a comeback, it'll be because of me. Straight up. I don't know if you've noticed this, but no one in my industry even likes to be associated with being a pickup artist. Like, my name is Jace the Pickup Scientist. No one else in my industry has the balls to do that. Nobody else. And that's not me bragging. Go and find them. Nobody else. And the reason for that is simple. Because the PUA name has been demonized. Like, PUAs and all things PUA looks bad. Me personally, I like it. I lean into it. Because that's how I got trained in seduction at first. Before I ever met, the pimps that trained me, I met pickup artists. Pickup artists were who told me, okay, this is how you set up a conversation. This is how you lead an interaction. This is how you set up a date from A to B. This is how an opener works. So I owe a huge part of my foundational skills to pickup artists. I will give them that homage for the rest of my life. Eric von Markovic, aka Mystery, is the white Jesus of my industry. No one's taking away from what Owen Cook has done for my industry, aka RSD Tyler Durden. I got trained in 2017 by Julian Blanc. Arash Zepar D. Bazaar is a GOAT. Like, it's funny to me that this guy, the Tate brothers, Andrew Tate is the famous guy now. Before there was Andrew Tate, there was Arash Zepar D. Bazaar. That is the Andrew Tate before Andrew Tate. well-accomplished martial artist, national champion in Taekwondo by the time he was 20 years old. What is he, a 4th or 5th degree Taekwondo specialist, a 4th degree Jiu-Jitsu black belt or some shit? Tattoos, bald, 6 girlfriends that he's had now for 10 years. All the girls you see with him today, he's had since the fucking early 2000s. You can't fake that. Okay, that's the real deal there. I will always give him his respect. I will always give Dante Nero his respect. I will always pay homage to Patrice O'Neal, to Kevin Samuels. This industry is never going away, no matter what form it takes. Like, a lot of men are weak, unfortunately, so they'll go behind these other names. It's red pill and black pill and all that. Nah, I'm a pickup artist. That's all it needs to be. I am a pickup artist. That is what I do. Okay? I'm gonna rant about that later. Rant over for now. Bro, how can you remain consistent after you get a chick and not be boring as well? The key to that is improve your life consistently. Life is the drama, right? And this is something I've had to explain a lot of times, especially fucking awesome here. But it just seems to me like people that were raised in like the first world don't seem to understand. Life is chaotic as you go. I know that sounds weird. Okay, maybe it doesn't sound weird. Maybe you do understand that on a conscious level. But the reason people in the third world have a slight advantage when it comes to just being consistent with keeping her emotions up, keeping her drama up, is because we understand that life will do that for you, right? The key isn't to not be boring anymore. The key is just to live life and accept challenges as they come, right? The moment you start just trying to seek comfort in everything you do, that's when you become boring. But I promise you're not going to look boring if you come back home and tell your girlfriend, hey, babe, I just joined a jiu-jitsu class. Yeah, I'm paying like $100 and whatever dollars for it. I think I'm paying $125 for my classes a month. But you know, yeah, I'm a jiu-jitsu guy now. That's what I do. I got a gi, I got a white belt. I'm starting classes soon. Like, that's a giant. It's a mental juke for her, because she probably thought to herself, yeah, this is how he's going to be going. This is what he's going to be doing. And then from out of nowhere, you surprise her with, here's this new thing I'm doing to improve myself. All right. And then you go through jiu-jitsu itself. That in itself is a lot of drama, because how much stuff do you have to go through to get good at jiu-jitsu to any capacity, to any degree? Right. So you don't have to worry about how do I keep things interesting. The moment you start thinking like that anyway, your relationship is over. Honestly, because that means your confidence is low. So get your confidence up. Go and seek a new challenge. Try and get a new promotion at your job. Try and start a business from out of nowhere. Go and find a mentor to teach you something new. That's all you need, is just for life to happen to you enough with her by your side. While she's with you and life is happening to you and she's seeing that, she's a part of the journey. She's a part of the drama. Trust me, nothing is boring when you're meeting your goals. All right, cool. I'm sorry, I don't quite understand. I'm very goof all around. How would that translate to time? Oh, okay, former guy. All right. I got to go to other people, but let me go over this real quick. If you're saying that you're a genuinely goofy person, like you're just all over the place, then I would say the first thing you should change are your daily habits and your aesthetics. So if you change your daily habits, there's something you're doing, because goofiness doesn't come from anywhere but you. So there's something you're doing on a daily basis that's increasing your goofiness. I would bet you're probably playing too many games. In terms of video games, you're probably watching too much anime or some other stuff like that. Don't get it twisted. I'm a huge anime fan myself. Are you kidding me? I can't wait till AOT finally comes out with in my opinion, what should be a redone ending, because I don't like this ending they got right now. I mean, Eren is right to do what he did, but come on, that's overkill. But the point is, there's something you're doing on a daily basis that's allowing you to get away with goofy behavior and thinking it's okay. Change that, or get a new set of habits. That'll usually solve it. The next thing is your aesthetics. If you look goofy, it's going to be easy for people to assume that you're goofy. So change that too. Get better fitting clothes, a new fashion sense, get some piercings that might help. Grow out your hair, get a new haircut, whatever it is. Goofiness is more than anything a look. All right? Hope that helps. Bruh, if you look like Kofi Kingston, get that all the time. I get Kofi Kingston, Juice WRLD, and Killmonger all the fucking time. The game in LA, oh, damn, my thing came off. Hold on. There we go. My bad, y'all. Oh, snap. Oh, I scroll all the way to the bottom. You game in LA, we can game together if you drop by. No, I'm in the Midwest. But I have gamed in LA. It is... I now understand why a lot of people go there to game. I'm going to be honest with you. It's easy. Gaming in LA is very easy. It's actually painfully easy. If your only experience with game is gaming... In fact, let me go ahead and give this a little rant. If you think you have game, and the only experience you have are big cities, college, or within your own social circle, you're lacking in your game. Real game, good game, is built in hard-to-game situations. I'll be impressed when you can game in that small town in Nebraska and get significant results. I'm not saying you got to get the world's greatest tens, because I'm pretty sure they're not even in Nebraska, but you get what I'm saying. It's easy to game and sexualize in a city where sexualization is the underlying theme. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot easier to pick up a girl from a club than it is to pick her from the office. Does that make sense? Just my 2 cents. I see a lot of people with really weak fundamentals in game, really deficient fundamentals, and I can always trace it back to one of those 3 things. They stick too long to online dating. They game in clubs and bars way too much. They do the whole LA night scene thing. And the last one is the social circle thing. A lot of guys get a girlfriend within their social circle and all of a sudden think they know game. No, you fucking don't. No, you don't. You got a girl the same way our ancestors used to get girls, which is within their own sphere of influence. Like, how hard is that to do? The hard thing to do is cold approach, which is meet a girl that you have no mathematical probability of ever seeing again and completely incorporate her into your life. That's what real game looks like. But hey, that's just my 2 cents. You do with that what you will. My problem is always closing, getting their number, and starting the convo. How do you close? I don't like to think of it as closing. I don't really like that word closing. I think of it more like just logically. And I put it to the girl that way. Like, I really enjoy having a conversation with you so far. You seem like an interesting person so far. I'm not too sold on you yet, but so far I think you're cool. I want to continue this conversation later. What would be the best way to reach you? You know what? Here's my number, or give me yours. That's all a number is. It's not a close. It's the old school term for it is time bridging. It's a way to bridge the first conversation with the first official meetup. That's all it is. It's, I like you so far. I think we might get along. I'm not sure, but let's see. The only way we can find out is, here's my number, or let me have yours. We'll continue this another time. I gotta go. Okay? So I don't think of it as closing. That's like the first thing. Change that mindset. If you think of it like closing, then no wonder you have a lot of anxiety around you. Like, oh, okay, now I got to say something to get the number. No, it's never supposed to be that big a deal. Damn, I like talking to you so far. You're a naughty flirt. You know that? I know what you're doing. I see what you're doing with your eyes. You're trying to seduce me. You naughty girl. Hey, you behave yourself now. I'm a man of God. That's my shit now, by the way. I say that for the last 3 months. I've been saying this everywhere. Don't look at me like that. I'm a man of God. Okay. I'm a good Christian boy. You can't get your hands off me. You can't talk to me like that. That's my shit now. And then go, listen, all right. I got to cleanse you of all this sin later. I got to perform an exorcism on you, but I got to go soon. So just give me your number. We'll talk later. That's how it should be. It's very chill. Does that make sense? It shouldn't be a big deal. And in fact, if you want to make sure it's not a big deal, when you do get the number, here's another thing I do just to solidify the number. I tease to create separation. Again, this is something that is going to be in my in my de-interview course. It's going to all be there. I promise you guys. And this is something I talk about. When you take a number, you have to create some kind of a push-pull after you take the number. Then you go, after you finish exchanging the number, then you go, oh, damn, I forgot to ask you. I should have asked you this before I took your number. You're not one of those weirdo girls that has like 6 cats, do you? And then she'll go, no, I mean, I have only one. Some hot girls have cats. I have only one, or I have only 2. Or no, I hate cats. And they go, oh, oof, okay, good, thank God. I was going to delete your shit. Man, okay, good. All right, fine, I'll talk to you later. Just a little tease, which is a great way to do it because, A, it shows just your general abundance. No man ever says, I'll delete your number after the fact. Do you understand? I've been doing this now for 4 years. I'm pretty sure I'm the only guy that's been doing this. Nobody else tells the stunning hot girl, you better tell me what I want to hear or else I'll delete your number after taking the number. Does that make sense? A lot more stuff like this in the interviewer course. We'll go over all that. Get any girl you want. You troll, you, Chris Lopez 6, of course, El Diablo 666, of course, evil motherfucker on Demon Time. Wouldn't you get way more volume, especially if you're short for time, if you also do online dating? That is the general bullcrap that is sold to a lot of people, but it doesn't matter how much volume you get if you're not converting anyway. It goes back to what I said before. Doesn't matter how much value you accumulate if you can't cash it in properly. If you meet 100 girls in real life and you close only one, and whatever closing means to you, maybe it's getting the number, maybe it's having intercourse with her later, but then you go online and you swipe through 1,000 girls and only get one date, then what then was the point of all that volume if you could have just met those? And that's another thing, man. Like, meeting that same girl that swipes left on you online is gonna be in between your thighs, with her head in between your thighs, in real life. Like, I've said this even to my girlfriends. I say this all the time. Man, you're stunning, you're beautiful, I love you, but if I met you on Tinder, the moment I saw your bio said something like vegetarian, I would have swiped left. Do you understand? So real life, it just clicks better. Just stick with real life. If your excuse is you have work issues, you don't have the time, man, that's why I keep telling people, the best jobs to work are the ones that put you in front of people. Sales jobs, retail jobs, hell, even fast foods. I got a lot of action when I was working at Chipotle. A lot of action. Because guess what comes to Chipotle? College-aged chicks that are just looking to have a good time and get their goofy sofritas bowl with guacamole, because the guacamole is free with it. You know what I mean? So just work a job that gets you in front of people, and that'll solve 90% of that problem. If for whatever reason you're in an industry where you can't do that, then I would still advise you to get, because dude, at some point you leave the house. I don't care what job you work. You got to go grocery shopping. You got to go do your laundry. You got to go do something outside your house. Talk to girls. Go to that Thai food down the street and just flirt there. Just flirt your ass off. That's what I used to do. Just do it. There's always an opportunity to meet girls. Don't give yourself excuses. And don't settle with online, because your results are inevitably going to be way lackluster than in real life. Okay? Next thing. Women cause more stress than peace. Now we're spending meaningful time with them. False. If you use women like the assets that they're supposed to be used as, then you're not going to have that problem. The only reason you think that is because you don't know how to use women correctly. Simple as that. I got to put it to you, man, but that's the truth. If you use women correctly, you're not going to have that issue. My 2 cents. You can choose to believe me or not. But women are like a double-edged sword. They either completely, greatly amplify your life or diminish it. But that depends on you and how you lead them. So you're either leading incorrectly or leading correctly. That's up to you. If they're a waste of time, that means you are doing something wrong. Simple as that. How do you pick up girls in the club? Like I said, man, I'd rather you go to a Whole Foods, man. Because, again, a club is a situation. I mean, think about what a club is. It's an establishment where it's created to attract women that can get in for free, usually, or at a lower cost, so that the guy can pay a higher cost to come in and get the women, which means off rip, you're already at a disadvantage because she knows that you paid your way to come see her. Maybe not her specifically, but you've already given too much validation up front. which is why whenever I do go to clubs, I either get invited to go to clubs or I wait outside the clubs. If you have to be inside the club, cool. You can still run game, but I'm just telling you right now, you're doing it at a deficit. You're making it unnecessarily hard for yourself. Besides, that same girl, you meet her out and about in public, becomes 20 times more accommodating. I don't know why clubs even exist. I get it. It's one of the best ways to guarantee you meet a woman, but damn, why make it hard for yourself? Me personally. Haha, that made me laugh. POA is quiet outside. You and Charisma King. Yeah, shout out to Charisma King, man. He's been doing this for a while. My game is better, though. Arash Zepar, the Bazaar, was crazy. I remember him and bought a book from him. He was crazy. He's a crazy guy. He's an intense guy. But you get to be that intense when you know what you're talking about. It's like Dan Pena. I call him the Dan Pena of my industry. Literally. He's literally Dan Pena, but with more bitches, more tattoos. Literally. That's an old name. I don't know what we're talking about there. My bad. Oh, was it Arash? Probably. He's Iranian, so Iranian, I guess. What's your take on marriage? Marriage is especially in this day and age, it's a game that's set up to be, it's set up to be a game where men don't have as many advantages as women do. So the game of marriage is rigged against women. Which means if you can find a way to win that game, you have amazing game. That's what I think about marriage. With that said, though, I would advise you, don't ever marry just one girl. Make sure you're marrying multiple girls. My Muslim brothers, you already know that already. Your religion allows for that. Me, myself, I'm a Christian. Christian gang around here. But we rock Jesus around here, gang. But my cousin makes that joke. But basically, I don't believe in monogamy. Monogamy is something that just makes game unnecessarily hard for yourself. A prerequisite to every relationship is your ability to go and attract other women and be able to demonstrate that you can do that in real time. Monogamy doesn't allow for you to do that. So, probably don't want to employ that at all. Big fan from Trinidad. Hey, Trinidad and Tobago. Let's be honest. I have a Jamaican ex, right? And I told her this. I said, everyone from the Caribbeans are just Nigerians with extra steps. Why are we playing? I'm Jamaican as far as I'm concerned. I just don't speak patois, and I don't get to have as much access to jerk chicken as I'd like. But in my mind, I'm Jamaican. Don't play with me. We're all West African anyway, dude. African Americans are just West Africans that came here, through slave ships. But I mean, Caribbeans too, but they went to the Caribbeans, and African Americans came here through transatlantic slave trade. You know how the hell story goes. Basically, we're all the same. We're all the same. We're all the same, baby. So as far as I'm concerned, you're just my Nigerian, my patois-speaking Nigerian. What's up, bro? I love you. Bro, what books do you recommend for picking up women or in general? The first book you have to read with regards to pickup is The Mystery Method by Eric von Markovic. Read nothing else. Read nothing else. Every industry has its Bible. And then every industry also has its original text. Let me explain what I mean by that. If you're into self-help, you've probably heard of books like The Secret or Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, right? In reality, those are the Bibles of those industries, but they're not the best books. They're not the best books. The best books in the self-help industry are like Born to Be Rich by Bob Proctor. And there's another one called The Science of Getting Rich. Those are the real self-help books, but they're not as popular. They're not as popular. Same thing with the game. Same thing with the Manosphere pickup in general. Everyone thinks the Bible of pickup is that's the ribs. I had some ribs before I got here. Everyone thinks the Bible of pickup is the game. That book is not the Bible of pickup. That book is a historical documentation from the perspective of a journalist that was given the privilege to hang out with actual pickup artists. Neil Strauss is not a pickup artist. He's a guy that pickup artists allowed to be around him. All right? The real Bible of pickup is the mystery method. It is the skeleton of real good pickup. You can optimize it if you want. Do what you want. Do what you want. But you cannot know pickup A to Z until you've read that book. So go and read that book. Read nothing else. It is not necessary to read anything else. The Mystery Method by Eric von Markovic. Oh, did I mention the audiobook is free on YouTube? See that? See how good things can be sometimes? Yeah? Okay. There you go. That's all I'll say about that. What's good, homie? What's up? Fantasticolos. Fantasticolos. It sounds Spanish for some reason. You do believe in positive manipulation, for example, helping a friend better himself by leading? Absolutely. Absolutely. You're getting manipulated every day. That's kind of the funny thing about manipulation. I don't know why it has a negative connotation. We are all getting manipulated every day. Every ad, every commercial, every TV show, every YouTube channel, every TikTok channel is designed to get you to think in a certain way. I am manipulating you right now because I get a lot of good results with the way I think. So why would I allow you to think the way you think when you most likely don't get the same kind of results I do, when I can just impart my brain into yours and boom, you're living the life I'm living? Why? Of course, I'm going to manipulate the hell out of you so you too can go and get your own 4 big booty bitches. Absolutely. I believe in positive manipulation. By leading him into heartbreak or traumatic event. Oh, that was the second part to it? Leading him into heartbreak or traumatic event. Yeah, whatever's necessary, man. If you need to make him experience some loss to trigger some kind of a transformation, absolutely. Do what you got to do. Marketing as in a question. You want me to talk about marketing? Is that what you mean? Because that's something I'm also really good at. But then again, if you're good at picking up girls, you're good at marketing. I've always said, if you're good at business, you're good at girls. If you're good at girls, you're good at business. And the only people that are good at one and not the other is because they're actually not good at either. Because they're the same thing. Getting a girl from, I don't know who this guy is, to, I would kill for this man, is the exact same as building a sales funnel for your avatar, for your customers, for your prospects. Right? There's prospect acquisition, as in lead generation. There's prospect conversion, lead conversion, as in turning that prospect into a paying customer. And then there's lead retention, as in how do you get that customer to keep coming back to you over and over and over and over and over again. And it's the same principle, whether it's with customers or getting girls, which is provide more value than you ask for in return. Boom. Simple. I just changed your lives forever. Congratulations. No, but like seriously, that's literally how it is. Should we get back with X? If you want to, it's your choice. Why? I mean, who's gonna stop you? Dan Payne is the man. Absolutely. I'm gonna cry the day that man dies. I've already decided in my mind it's gonna be a massive loss when that man dies. It's gonna hurt. But death comes for us all. Your 3 rules of masculinity. There are no rules to masculinity. There's only one, if at all you call it a rule, which is do what the hell you want. That's kind of the point. There's no good or bad way to approach masculinity. Just do whatever you want. There's people that are feminine looking, that are dandies, that get amazing results with women. One that comes to mind is Russell Brand. And keep it on the low, but Russell Brand has actually been a pickup artist now for a good 20 years. Shh, don't tell anyone. Shh. But it's true. Back in the day, he used to party with them RSD dudes. RSD Max, RSD Julian, RSD Tyler, all them guys. So Russell Brand is a softer, more feminine, dandy-like guy. But you can't call him not masculine. You want to know why? Because he does what he wants, and he sticks to his own guts. When he divorced from Katy Perry, and he had the chance to go after her for alimony, he chose not to. Because in his mind, that was him sticking to his principles. And that's all you need to do. Stick to your principles. So the real question you should be asking me is, what should be my principles? And the answer to that is you have to figure that out as you go. That's not something I can teach you. My goal is not to turn you into me. My goal is to give you the frameworks and the systems and the mindset so that you can go and use those things that I give you to create what you want. Because I want a mansion with 12 wives and 40 children. That might not be your vision. But with the same tools, you can go and meet your own needs, your own ends, your own whatever you want. You know what I mean? But just get the mindset down. So there's no rules for masculinity. Just the real rule to masculinity is do what the hell you want. The Bible is the best book ever. No, it's not. The Bible is heavily adulterated and edited. The original Torah is way better. And yeah, the Bible is not as detailed as it should be. Not to say it's useless. The Bible does have bangers in it. But in fact, you know what? Let me go ahead and summarize the entire Bible for you. The Bible teaches the exact same lesson with every single story. You want to know what it is? It's how it goes. Man is on his mission. Man on his mission gets distracted a little bit. If man deviates from his mission to meet the needs of temptation and distraction, man fails. If man ignores temptation, then he meets his goal. That's the story. Every story in the Bible is that. Samson deviated from the plan and sought out temptation, which is why he failed. So did David at some point. So did Solomon at the end of his life. Jesus stayed the course, though. John the Baptist stayed the course. Paul stayed the fucking course. Okay? Every story in the Bible is the same story. The man is going on his way. He gets tempted. If he meets the needs of the temptation, he fails. If he ignores the temptation, he wins. Simple as that. That's the entire Bible. I just summarized it for you. Congratulations. What was the name of the book? The Mystery Method by Eric von Markovic. The Mystery Method. Type it in Google. Hello, Jason. Hello, Glory Hustler. What's up? How to choose between two girls that you like. Why do you have to choose? Just to take them both. What's wrong with you? You don't ever choose. That's the point. That's the point of living in abundance. You don't have to choose. I love all 4 of my girlfriends. I don't choose which one I like. Just take them all. You can. If no one has ever told you this, you are completely within your rights to be greedy as you want to be. Okay? You don't have to choose. All right. Opinions on NoFap. Do what you want to do, man. I don't think it helps. Like, again, you hear me talking about I want a lot of women in my life. It's not possible to have that and be doing NoFap. I think about my life now, and as often as I have women around me, as often as I sleep over at people's houses and stuff, how am I going to go a full week and not bust a nut? It's impossible. It's impossible. And it hasn't stopped me from achieving my goals, though. That's the thing. However, I will say this. You do have to go through some kind of a period of isolation. Surprise, surprise. I'm working on a course on that called isolation. And it's pretty much everything, in my personal opinion and experience, that you need to do to properly go from one stage of your life to the next stage in terms of your looks, your finances, your money, all that stuff. There has to be a point where you separate yourself from society and look within yourself for the ideas and inspiration that you need to create the plans that you need to execute on to perfection to meet the next level in your life. Okay? So I have a whole course about that. I'll talk about that later. We'll talk more. So in a way, I guess NoFap is involved in that, but this weird thing where people try to make NoFap a lifelong lifestyle, nah. I agree you might have to go to not touch yourself or have some girl come and make it wet for you for a period of time just to get your mind in a certain state, but to make it a lifelong journey, stop it. That's, again, it's just that mindset of, I want to withhold my power. At some point, you got to release it, stupid. What kind of questions do you ask to screen women to talk to? Depends on the stage of the interaction. Initially, it's going to be logistical questions, like, who are you here with? What are you doing? Where are you going right now? I sprinkle that in there. I don't want to go back to back with it because then it gets boring that way. You want to spike up some teasing in there, some push-pull, some, whatever in there. The further down you go, though, you start to get a little more serious. So I'll ask questions like, what is your relationship like with your father? I'll ask questions like, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I'll ask questions about, like, what happened with their last relationship. And what I want to know is what mindset they're in right now. So if they tell me he broke up with me, interesting. There might be a little bit of a widowing effect going on there, in which case, all I have to do then is to juxtapose myself on top of that former guy. There's ways to do that. If the goal is, or if she tells me she broke up with him, that's usually the ideal situation, because that means there's no baggage that she's carried from that relationship. Although, if she says, I broke up with him because he cheated on me, yeah, that's a tough one, because then that means she's probably, in her mind, got unfinished business with that guy. Because, that's just how women chase validation. So the game plan from there would be, if I so choose, to make myself a higher, more sought after source of validation than her ex that cheated on her. It's a whole thing. I go into it in the interview though. I want to be the best version of myself. Begin to work on it. Have a strategy for each aspect of your life and execute on it every single day. I want women to submit to me. Where do I start? You have to be someone worth submitting to. So work on your respect. Work on your self-respect. Women submit to men who are worth submitting to. Every time you see a guy out there talking about these women these days don't submit, he's weak. Straight up. I'm sorry. I got to tell you the truth. I'm a guy that actually has women submitting to him on a daily basis. Trust me, if women aren't submitting to you, it's because you're not worth submitting to. It is not a flaw in their character. And no, it is not the generation we find ourselves in. A lot of people like to use that excuse. That's why I hate to say the word modern women. There's no such thing as a modern woman. Women have been the same since the beginning of time. All right? They're survivalists. And there's no, but what about the way these women are being raised? Take those same ratchet women and put them smacked in the middle of the Middle East, and I promise you she's wearing a burqa by next week, Thursday. Because women will change depending on the environment you put them in. So your excuse of, I'm not sure, I don't think it's any guy watching here, there's some other guys out there, but whatever excuse those guys may have of they're just not submissive is dumb. Even the most unsubmissive women will find a way to be submissive when you're someone worth submitting to. That's the secret. Sitting down and complaining about women are submissive does nothing but expose you as someone that isn't worth submitting to. Simple as that. So, next question. Do you think self-improvement or success or learning pickup is better use of time or both? Why not do both? You don't have to focus on only one thing at a time. That's not how life works. If you're allocating your time correctly, you should be working out in the mornings, working on whatever business or work or job you have in the midday or whatever. You should be working on going to the gym and your body in the nighttime, or pickup in general or whatever. But section your day out into 3 parts. 1 for fitness, 1 for money, 1 for pickup. Boom. And you do that every day. And then if you want, have some rest days in between here and there. But you can do it every day. What you're lacking is creativity and energy. Those are the 2 things you lack. Is the ability to creatively segment your day properly and the energy to go through all those things on a daily basis. We'll talk about all that in the isolation course. Let's send popcorn. Thanks, man. Don't even know what that means, but thanks. 1 cheated, 1 has 2 kids. What are we talking about? I'm guessing maybe the exes? Is that what you're talking about? 1 cheated, 1 has 2 kids. You can get the one with the kids to leave her kids and her man. I don't know if I want to talk about that here, because these are the kind of things I reserve for in the course. Not to say I want to hold back on you guys, but it is mad controversial when I say stuff like you can get a woman to abandon her life for you. It's very simple. Yes, it's very simple. All right, I said this in the self-belief course, but I have an ex. God, this I'm so evil. I have an ex that's getting married this I think late September, early October or so. And yeah, I'm pretty much gonna crash the wedding and fuck her one last time. Because who's gonna stop me? I can't. That's the kind of hold you can have on women when you know how to demonstrate strength, project strength properly, and make sure you're not losing any respect over time. Like I can call any ex I've been with in like the last 4 years, and they'll have like a mini heart attack. Like, oh my God, Jason's calling me. It's very easy to do by the self-belief course. Or just watch the free course on YouTube. I think I go over that there to some degree. Yeah, I do. Thanks so much for the information. No problem, man. No problem, Leonardo. That's my favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Leonardo Mondragon Ruiz. That's a fucking dope name. Introducing new girls into my loving relationship with wifey. You gotta let her introduce herself to wifey without you being there. That would be the best way to do it. If you're there, they'll behave themselves because you're there. You have to let them know who they are when you're not there. Set up a date, pay for it, to go do some fun shit together, and see how that goes. If wifey and her don't get along, I mean, you can be a strong head and pimp about it and be like, y'all gonna have to find a way to get along. Or you can respect wifey and just be like, nah. Because, I mean, let's be honest. If that's wifey and this is a new girl, the wifey has to have a little more say than the new girl. That's just how it is. If it's a pyramid and you're on top, wifey's a little closer to you than the new girl is. So you should be respecting wifey a little more if you choose to set it up that way, right? I mean, me, I do have an element of fairness to me, so I do run things like that just a little bit. So, do what you got to do. Tuning in from Kenya. Hey, East African niggas. What's up? What's up? Kenya. I haven't heard from my ex from Kenya with the fattest ass in like 2 years. I probably gotta go hit her up on Facebook now because that ass was fat. Some chicks are real G.I. Joes though. Let's keep it real. What do we mean by that? Who cares how G.I. Joe they are anyway? It doesn't matter. You're a man. You're a man. Doesn't matter how gangster they may appear to be. You're a man. You're the one with the higher capacity for gangsterness, if you want to call it that. Thoughts on body count, and at what point is it too high for a wifey? Man, there's no point to where it's too high for a wifey. You guys want me to talk about this controversial? Listen, man. One of my favorite exes of all time. I call her favorite because she was by far my most useful ex. And the only reason she's an ex is because she fucked up and I had to let her go. Till this day, if I wanted her back, I can get her back right now. But not quite yet. We'll see how that goes later. The point is, she has, well, at the time I met her, her body count was well over 200, right? It was more than mine, in fact, at the time. And it's like, it didn't matter ultimately to me because I was able to get a massive use from this girl. Does that make sense? I honestly feel like a lot of guys that focus on the body count thing a lot are too focused on bullshit. Excuse me. One of these heifers. But I wouldn't focus too much on a body count as a major like red flag or whatever. Let me put it like this. Let's say you have two girls, right? One has a body count of 2, just 2 guys. The other has a body count of 500. But the one with the body count of 2 doesn't respect you, doesn't like you, doesn't take care of you, couldn't care less if you die. Like she views you as the bubblegum stain underneath her shoe. And then the girl with the 500 count is willing to go and bomb a fucking plane for you if you ask her to. Which one will you pick? I don't know about you guys. I'm picking the second one. That's just more use. That's more use. And value is just that. Is use. It's utility. If you can think about value in terms of utility, your game will become a lot more streamlined. That's why women succeed a lot more than men when it comes to game, to be honest. Because women are very, they're very focused. They don't try to mess around with the little things. They don't care about the little stuff. That's why a girl can be like, okay, I like this guy. I don't care that he has 5 baby mamas. I don't care that he's been to prison. I don't care that this and that. They're very focused and value oriented. They focus on what they want and what they can get out of it. I feel like if men dated like that, man, it would be so much easier for us. It's just that we don't. Which is why we focus on dumb shit like, oh, the body count is too high. Oh, she... what was that other one that I was hearing about? I forgot what it was, but there's a bunch of dumb ones. Just focus on what you can get and how you can benefit. Every other thing becomes a distraction. How do you feel about a girl cheating on you? You're really pulling it out of me today. If a girl cheats on you, it's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. I'm sorry. But it is your fault. If a girl cheats on you, it's your fault. Let me explain why. First of all, let's explain why a girl would cheat in the first place. A girl can't cheat on you. A girl doesn't have the ability to begin to look for other options if you don't give her a reason to. Straight up. If a girl... stay or leave. Up to you. But let me explain this first, then we'll get to stay or leave. She wants to stay? Perfect. You know what? Fuck it. We'll skip right to that. Girl cheats on you. You decide you want to stay. Or, sorry, she decides she wants to stay. Perfect! Now you can put her through the gauntlet. Because, again, why would she cheat on you? You did something to project weakness. More specifically, you projected weakness over a long period of time. Which is why she went, this guy's weak, I have to jump ship. She went looking for someone else. That's what cheating is. Women don't just go and get dick for the fun of it. There's women out there that'll claim that that's what they do. That's not what they do. Women only seek the attention of other men when they're looking to jump ship. Women can only occupy one guy in their mind at a time. Remember that. It's a game of Monopoly, and you're trying to build the most real estate in her mind. If she's going to look for another guy, that means you've not built enough real estate in her mind. So what you've done now from catching her cheating is found a perfect opportunity to get that real estate in there. Okay, she cheated and she wants to stay. Good. Then you go, okay, if you want to stay, do this and that for me and create a list all on your own, whatever list you want it to be. When I first started out, I was doing weird lists like go pick up my laundry for me, buy Chipotle for me for a week, take me to this fancy restaurant and you're paying for it. I want to sleep with you and your best friend. I want that threesome to happen. Whatever you want. What the hell ever you want. What the hell you want. And then after that, when she's gone through the gauntlet, then you go, okay, now we can be together again. That way, you eliminate the chances of her cheating next time, but more importantly, you make her value the relationship. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's see. Vulnerable with women. As in, should you be vulnerable with women? The layman answer is no. That's the quick and dirty answer. The correct answer, the more nuanced answer, is vulnerability and honesty are tools. And they're tools that you can use to manipulate women. That's the correct answer. The correct answer is, if you're experienced and smart enough, you can use honesty and vulnerability as a tool to get women to open themselves up. Because women usually don't open themselves up until you open yourself up first. So you can at least, convey some vulnerability to get her started. Just some higher level concepts, but that's the general gist of it. Let's see. Nasha wants to marry and I have a crush with another woman with 2 kids. Oh yeah, we're still talking about you, Carlos. Okay, that makes sense. I don't see what the problem here is, man. You're complicating this. Get them both. What's wrong with doing that? She cheated on you. So if you say, oh, by the way, I'm working on this other girl too that has 2 kids or whatever. I mean, why even get with a single mother, Carlos? You can do better than that, dude. You don't have to. That's not necessary. You don't have to do the single mother thing. Not to say I'm against you dating single mothers. I think that's quite silly myself too. If you want to date single mothers, you can. But you can do better than that. That's how I will put it. If you want to date single mothers, you absolutely can. Just make sure you're getting as much out of that situation as you want to. The best example I can think of someone that dates or dated single mothers correctly is Patrice O'Neal. He, till his last breath, was with a single mother. But you see, he told that single mother, listen, bitch, you and I are going to fuck Brazilian whores together. And she agreed, because that's Patrice O'Neal. You know, where's she going to get another one of those? And he was able to get the most out of the situation as he wanted. Again, that's a good example that goes back to what I was talking about with the whole body count thing. Oh, but she has kids. Yeah, but if she's down for the cause, dude, what do you do? Why are you fumbling here? Use that girl to get more girls. No, there will be no better wingman for you than actual women, man. We've been thinking about this wrong. We're not supposed to get wingmen. We're supposed to get wing women. So if you got a girl that's a single mother, let that girl know, listen, our thing now is threesomes. And if she doesn't want that, cool, let her go. Let her go find her Prince Charming that'll take care of her goofy kids. But if she's going to be with you, yeah, let's go get, come on. You see that big booty Brazilian girl over there? Yeah, bring her to me and train her. That's your girl. Go train her. Damn, you're missing out on great opportunities over dumb shit. Anyway, since then, I've learned to hold my frames. How do you deal with the friend of women that so sees it? Destroy them. Okay. Even in my pickup, because old school pickup will tell you, befriend the group, befriend make friends with the girl and create a win-win situation. That's the correct thing to do. I want to make it very clear. Don't do what I'm about to tell you to do. It'll make it unnecessarily harder for yourself. But me being me, I automatically hate the friends. And I'm going to tell you why I hate the friends. I hate the friends because the friends hate her. If you date, especially if you date, tens like I do, like you date beautiful women, all tens are in friend groups where they are all catty and bitchy towards each other. Right? So her friends hate her anyway. One of my favorite things to see is, when you're dating a girl and one of her friends are getting married, and you can smell and sense the hatred and vitriol all the friends have for that one girl that's getting married. All women hate each other anyway. So one of my first things I do when I get into a relationship with a girl is immediately assert myself above her friends. I don't like friends. I don't like the girl. The only friends my girls are allowed to have are themselves. Their sister wives. That's it. I don't like the whole, outside communication will corrupt your relationship. Every single time. I've seen this happen, even to myself. Outside communication from the goofy friends. You think her friends are going to tell her how to have a beautiful, long-lasting relationship with you? No. They're going to destroy it to make themselves feel better because misery likes company. So destroy the friends immediately. In her mind. Not physically, of course. But you want to assert yourself above the friends immediately. And make yourself the authority she looks to so she can abandon the friends. They don't want good for her anyway. This is why I advise people, fuck the best friend. Which sounds ironic from everything I just said, but I mean this shit. If she's getting advice from her best friend, the best thing you can do is go and fuck the best friend and show her the video. I know, toxic shit. Toxic. Be the first to admit it. But it's worked for me every time. You want to know why it works? Because women don't learn through logic. They learn through the psychological. They learn through what they feel. Not what they know or what they can analyze or what they can logically put together. They learn through what they feel. If you tell her, listen, babe, listen to me, not your best friend. I want the best for you, not your best friend. It's not going to click because all she's going to feel in that moment is, I feel like I've known my best friend longer than this guy. So what you got to do is fuck the best friend and show her the video. So that she can know, by the way, that best friend of yours that you think wants the best for you, yeah, she fucked your man. Can you believe that? She betrayed you. I've done this 3 times in my life. Works every time. Bang the best friend. There'll be like a good maybe 2 or 3 months on average of the girl just being mad at you and not talking to you. But I promise you, in the long run of the relationship, it heals everything perfectly. It makes sense. It works out in the end. It kind of goes back to something I always talk about, which is instinct versus intellect. Women want immediate gratification. which is why they chase validation as relentlessly as they do. Men, on the other hand, we're more logical with our shit. We like to think long-term with things, right? Which means everything that we want, they don't want, because they usually want things for the now, things that'll feel good in the moment, and we want things that'll help the relationship in the long run. So, babe, be vulnerable with me. Why aren't you emotional with me? That'll feel good in the moment when you're crying in her knees and telling her how you haven't healed from a trauma of what, your uncle did to you or whatever the fuck. But in the long run, it destroys the relationship because, dude, now you're a weak man. And how can she stay with a weak man? You see my point? So, you got to think long term. In the short term, it'll hurt. How could you do this to me? How could you betray me? You fucked my best friend. But in the long run, man, you have what you have now is a highly compliant girlfriend. A girlfriend that now has to admit, you know what, he's right. He's right. He's right. Just my 2 cents. Do with it what you will. Girl cut me out of her life for showing weakness. How do I get her back? Begin to project strength. That is the correct answer. You already answered your question in a way by saying she left because you showed weakness. Well then, project strength and she'll come back. It's a reverse formula. Project strength plus her seeing strength equals she'll come back. If you want to call it a formula like that. But yeah, just begin to project strength. It would depend on the situation you're in and, how you want to go about doing it. But, well, there is usually, depending on the situation you're in, only a few correct ways to go about doing it so you get the maximum results. I would have to know more about this, man. Get on my self-belief mini course. Go to my YouTube, find my free course, go through the free course, and then click the link in the bio for my self-belief mini course. Get in on it, and you'll get free email coaching from me. I can help you with that. Easy peasy. By the way, I got to start putting up the testimonials of the guys that have actually gone through like the course and the email coaching. They got a lot of good things to say. You're going to love it. Let's see. And if you're in there, let them know how good it is. Like in the comments, let them know. Let's see. When's demon time supposed to end? Never. Never. The moment it ends, the moment you get trampled on. Ask Michael B. Jordan. Ask Johnny Depp. Ask Will Smith. Demon time never ends. What about uglier girls as wing women? Why would you even know a single ugly girl? The only ugly girls you're allowed to know are the ones that you maybe work with or do business with. Or the ones you're related to. Because I know sometimes we got ugly relatives. That's fine. You shouldn't know girls that are ugly aside from that. Just no. You should have women that you find attractive. If you're thinking about, I'm going to use that one girl in my friend zone as, nah. It won't work quite as well. Beautiful women feel safer around other beautiful women. It's just how it works. A 10's life and a 7's life are 2 entirely different experiences. So a 10 getting advice from a 7, she'll never take that advice. But if it's from a fellow 10, she's more inclined to listen to that. Just my 2 cents. Level up and make her wish she was with you. That's one good way to do it. Yo, that's good. Everything I've said is good. You're a genius. I know that. Demon time. Exactly. Yep. I like that name, Jobin. I hope I'm saying that right. Joban. What if she cheated? You don't care and want to be out her, the lover boy ain't, what? What if she cheated? You don't care and want to be out her, the lover boy ain't. I don't understand that second half, bro. You gotta help me with that, bro. I don't get that. You gotta help me with that. V4 769 7879 78579. Help me with that. I already did. Haha. Perfect. Good. Excellent. I'm guessing you're talking about sleeping with her friend. Good. Let her know that you slept with her friend. In my opinion, IMMO. I don't know if that's in my opinion. IMMO. Check it out. I don't know what that is. Say less. Demon time. Yes, absolutely. Said it right first, fam. Yep. Awesome. That's Jobin. Jobin. Awesome. How important is looks? I'm jacked but natural and considering roids to get insane. Not necessary. You just have to be above a certain threshold. I don't know how to explain the threshold, but you'll know you're where you need to be when you don't look like every other guy out there. Like, guys that look like me are few and far between. And mind you, I'm not the most jacked guy out there. Like, I'm not ripped or jacked, or compared to other guys, I'm flabby, in fact. But there's a certain look you have to have. Shoulder to waist width, arm size, and stuff like that to just look like you're fit. You don't have to look insane out of your mind. You don't even have to look extraordinarily athletic. But you do have to look like you at least pick a dumbbell up once or twice a week. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Like, you don't have to go crazy and like this body part and this number of grams of protein and creatine. Nah, you just have to look like you sweat at least twice a week. That's all you need. And you have to look like that. You might sweat twice a week, but still look fat. Don't look fat. You have to look somewhat fit. Not even crazy athletic, just fit. Fit is enough. As for how important looks are, looks are important for the first, I want to say not even up to 2, maybe 1.5 minutes of a conversation. Because what you'll greet a girl with is the way you look. So if you don't look too good, a lot of your game has to be focused on how to overcompensate for that. And yes, there's game for that. If you want to learn overcompensation game, it definitely exists out there. But it's harder to do. It's way easier to look good and then on top of that have great game. Or look decent and then have extraordinary game on top. So you kind of balance everything out that way. But after the first minute and a half, your looks aren't going to save you as much as you think it will. It just, no. That's why I don't, like, the black pill as a concept is quite interesting. It's like you made an entire movement that even if you get to the pinnacle of that only helps you with the first 2 minutes at the most of a conversation. Because I don't know if you knew this, but it doesn't matter how good you look. If you say the wrong things, you're not getting any action. I don't know if you knew this. I'm telling you now. Trust me, I've been good looking a good portion of my life. There's been times where I went through a 1.5 year drought as good looking as I was. Okay, so if you don't have correct game, it doesn't matter how good looking you are. You're gonna fumble it every time. Let's see. Okay, that's what I thought about ugly wing women. Good. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Is demon time explained in your profile? I don't know what that means. Oh, you mean my course? Let me think about the courses I've put out so far. Yes, there's a section in my self-belief course, I believe, where I talk about breaking rapport. Yeah, it's in the breaking rapport section. Get my self-belief course. It's in the breaking rapport section. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, good. The rendition, the other sentence. What if she cheated? You want to be out here and don't care because you're not a lover boy. What does a lover boy have to do with not being like nonchalant? No, it's not a bad thing. If that, again, do what you want, dude. If you want her back, go do that. If you don't want her back, don't do that. If you don't want to care, do whatever you want. There's no good or bad to this game. The only thing that is good or bad are the things that you determine are good or bad. If you think getting back with your cheating ex the right way is a bad thing, then don't do it. If you think fucking that guy's wife because she's choosing on you is a good thing, then do it. There's no rules. Like, ethics and morality are not a part of this biological game to survive and replicate. Like, I promise you, if you look through your list of ancestors, some of your ancestors were the products of rape. In case, well, I hope I didn't. I shouldn't have said that. But this is the truth. Not everyone throughout your ancestral lineage were lovey-dovey with each other. Some of them were, by accident. Some of them were grapes. Some of them were slaves of war. You don't know. So there's no ethic. The goal is the same. Just make sure you get your genetics down to the next generation, whatever means necessary. You create your own morals and ethics as you go, okay? Make sure you have some. I'm not saying be completely ethically and morally bankrupt. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying, create your own rules. Which one is better, caring less in the relationship or being high value to her? So you're in your mind, you think that caring less is one tactic, and then being high value is another tactic that you can employ. Let me think about that. I don't think so. Caring less is a fantastic strategy, but caring less in itself is high value. Because you have to understand, on a biological level, one of the major markers of higher status from a woman's point of view is the guy that cares the least. So I always say this, and this is something that's kind of sad to say, but for the rest of a woman's life, there's only two guys that she will ever get with, that she'll ever shack up with. The guy who truly doesn't care about her, and the guy who pretends not to care about her. So she's either getting with a guy that don't give a fuck about her, or a guy that's a really good liar. Does that make sense? So they're not necessarily different, caring less or being high value. Caring less is being high value. They're one and the same thing. Except you think being high value has more to do with like your looks, money, status. Yes, those things they're in there. They kind of help your value, but they're not the best kind of value you can give. The best kind of value you can offer a woman is your confidence, is your ability to understand that no matter what, you're the best thing that's ever happened to her, is your self-belief. Okay? Next one. I bought the course like it's so far. Of course you do. It's a great course. And thanks for buying that, though. I hope you're one of the people, I don't recognize your name, but I hope you're one of the people I'm email coaching right now. Which reminds me, I got to get back to a lot more emails I got to send. And forgive me if I'm a little late on replies. A lot of people I got to get through. And a lot of, I want to be detailed with each email. And I'm sure for those of you that are in the course, you already see how many paragraphs I be sending and stuff. So, bear with me. I'll get to you if I'm not gotten to yet. Let's see. Book advice for alpha men. Is there any book out there? Because the book everyone is raving about is a book called Way of the Superior Man by David Data. That's not a bad book. The problem I have with that book, should I even say that? Fuck it. The problem I have with that book primarily is that it's not really a guide on how to be a man. It's a comprehensive guide on what the masculine looks like in relation to the feminine, which is great. And the manosphere has decided to pick that book up. But that book is not for the manosphere. That book is for those who are scientifically inclined to try to understand the relationship between the sexes. Does that make sense? So telling you to read that to become a more alpha man won't help you much. A better way to do it would be to approach masculinity and being alpha as a lifelong journey. Don't think of being masculine and alpha as something you have to learn to do. Think of it as something you have to get comfortable with doing. It's not that you don't know how to be alpha. It's that more than likely you're not brave enough to be alpha the way you want to be. Because that's really what I've seen so far. It's not that people aren't alpha enough. It's that people are just too scared to just do what they really want to do. You know you want to talk to that girl. You don't need to teach. You don't need me to teach you how to be alpha. You need to get out of your own way. That's really what it is, in my humble experience. And I coach a lot of people. I see this all the time. A lot of the time, the problem is not that they don't know what to do. is that they just scared to do it. It's a fear thing. It's a fear to break rapport. It's a fear to ask for her number. It's a fear to say that flirty line that might be misconstrued as an insult. It's a fear to have things blow up in your face, and it's okay. Nothing bad will happen. And I think that's the best way to alleviate fear from people, is making them understand, like, listen, I've been on the other side of that fear. Nothing bad happens. I promise you. Nothing bad happens. She's going to scream. She's going to cry. She might throw a mug at you, but nothing in general bad happens because you're a man at the end of the day. And she's a girl. She's just a girl. It's fine. You just have to attack life like you're going to do what you want regardless. Real masculinity, real alphaness is doing what you want regardless. You don't need a book to tell you that. Okay? Oh shit, I have to scroll up. I sent an email recently, but I know you're busy, so no worries. I will get to it. Man, I skipped through some people because it got buried, so I had to go back, and I'm going through all those ones, and now it's putting me behind on the ones that are coming new, so it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, but I want to handle all of it myself. I don't want my assistants, my girlfriends, to help me with this because they cannot help you the way I can, clearly. So I want to do all of this myself. I will get to you. I give you my word. How do you set expectations with a new girl? You tell her what the expectations are. Straight and simple. There will be other women in my life. That's how it's going to go. Just like that. There will not... what do you feel about a guy that dates multiple women? Don't ever try to do it the pussy way. Stop with that. We're all grown men here. Stop trying to sneak your way into a good situation. Demand it. I'm the kind of guy that dates multiple women. So if you're dating me, you have to understand that that's how it is. Expectations set. Moving on. What do you do when she pulls away and how to act when she comes back? Act like nothing happened. The problem with how guys act when she comes back is that they show that they're affected when she comes back. That's the real issue. If you can wing it, you want to make it look like, oh man, I completely forgot we were dating when you were gone. I might have cheated on you. Damn, my bad. You don't have to be toxic about it, but you really want to, like, if your life is busy enough, and if you have a lot of abundance, take it from someone that lives this life, you're not even going to notice when a girl pulls away. Like, most of the time when a girl comes back, it's a pleasant surprise for me. I'm like, oh, shit, I completely forgot about it. Oh, man. Hey, how's it going? Damn, how long has it been? 2 weeks? Let's catch up. Let's grab coffee or something. I'll come by. I'll swing by your place after I'm done with so and so stuff. It's a pleasant surprise for me. I don't even notice these girls are gone. And then they get mad at me like, oh, you didn't text me, you didn't call me, you didn't miss me. Then I do what I do and I go, oh, of course I missed you, babe. Of course you know what? Pop a titty out. Take your clothes off. I'll show you how much I missed you. If you're living life and you're meeting your goals and you're seeing your missions through, you're not even going to notice they pulled away. Honestly. So I would say get busier. You're not busy enough. Does learning game just come through experience, or are there resources I should use too? I don't sell courses for nothing. I don't give courses away for free for nothing. You can learn game through experience, but there's some subtle nuances you just won't learn if someone doesn't tell you, or if someone doesn't teach you or guide you or hold your hand. Me personally, I'll give you an example. When I was starting out, I remember I had a big problem with like texting. And I'll tell you what my big problem with texting was. Because I had learned enough game to know how to talk to girls in person. And I mistakenly thought that the way to talk to girls over text is just do what I do in person but through text. But then I would have these good conversations and they would fizzle out. Or they would never agree to see me in person. And I was always wondering, what the hell? What's the problem? It was my mentor that went, why aren't you succeeding with your texting? Let me see what you're texting these girls. I handed him my phone. He looks at it and goes, you see, that's the problem. You're trying to be chummy over text. You don't need to do this over text. You need to do this in the date or in person. Over text, your goal is one thing and one thing only. Get the date. Your text should be goal-oriented. I mean, your dates should be goal-oriented as well, but your texting is nothing but a springboard to help you to the next phase. And the next phase is an in-person meetup. You can't bang this girl through the phone texting her. Well, except you phone text, but why do that when you can just get her naked in person? See my point? So, if no one told me, I would have run around in circles until maybe I accidentally found the secret to it later. But if no one tells you how to just stop messing around with the bull crap and just focus on what needs to be focused on, you're gonna waste a lot of time. So get the resources. I got a free TikTok channel. I got a free course you can go through. And if you want something more personalized and I can help you with, buy my course, man. You get my email address in there. Free email coaching. What's the limit for the body count for the girl? I already kind of answered this question earlier. And I kind of already said there's really no limit as long as she's useful to you. That's really the thing. That's what I look forward to. That's what I look out for, is how useful is this girl to me? If she's very useful to me, to the point where I can get this girl to go and rob a bank for me, I don't care if she slept with 500 guys. I don't give a damn. Go and rob the bank and she listens to me and she does everything to the T what I say, I don't give a damn. Go rob a bank, bitch. Hey man, I like how you think. Saw a couple of your videos and I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah, a lot of people are. Thanks for the support, man. I appreciate that. Let's see. For an introverted person, what approach is best for a 9 or 10 girl that you occasionally see? You want to know the truth to it? Introversion is not going to help you with 9s or 10s. Being shy is only cute to girls that are 8s and below. Because being shy signals a lack of confidence. And a lack of confidence is the best thing to demonstrate to a 8 or below because, well, they don't want you to have too much confidence. If you have too much confidence, then you can get 9s and 10s. And that pushes them out of the competition. So if you want a 9 or a 10, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. You gotta have some. You have to have some godlike confidence about you. You have to have some great levels of self-belief. It's almost impossible to get with a 9 or a 10 without some arrogance to you. Being completely honest. Go and watch my free course. I talk about this in the mindset, the last portion of the first part, the mindset portion. It's all there. Our confidence as men equates to their beauty. So if your confidence isn't high enough and her beauty is too high, it's not gonna match. It's not. Sorry. I know I want so bad to like give you the Kool-Aid, like, yeah, you can be introvert and get 9s and 10s too. The people that call themselves introverts that get 9s and 10s regularly are not introverts. At worst, they're ambiverts. They're people that can switch from introversion to extroversion at will, but they're not complete introverts. They're not like off hiding in their corner doing nothing and talking to no one. They're very sociable people. They understand social dynamics. They understand social calibration. You're not going to get those skills by being the guy that's off to the corner alone. Just go out there, talk some more. I'm not saying you have to be the loudest guy, beat your chest all the time, but it definitely helps to be the kind of guy that has a massive self-belief about you. I knew the first time I saw an Andrew Tate video that he gets bitches without even knowing anything about him when I saw the way he talked. You can tell who gets women by the way he talks. That's why I can know Andrew Tate gets bitches. Tristan Tate gets bitches. Fresh and Fit don't. They don't. It's kind of obvious. Don't even insult me by asking me how. If you can't see Fresh and be like, that guy, there's no way that guy gets girls that are like 10s and 9 caliber consistently, then you need more game yourself. Like, if you're getting fooled by that, come on. You're better than that. You're better than that. What would you say your close rate is? How do you know if a girl is a loss? Ooh, that's a good question, because this is one thing I love to brag about. I probably have the best close rate of anyone. Okay, what is my close rate? Let's see. If you want to think about closing as like just sex, as in how many girls, out of all the girls I approach, how many can I like eventually fuck? I would say a little over 20%. a little over. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I cheat. The truth is, universally, the close rate for everyone is about, 4%, 5%? For the best in the world, it's like 10%. I can brag of 20%, and this is why. Because I only go for the close with girls that are high compliance. With girls that I know will give me the close, so to speak. The problem with most guys is they attack game like it's a numbers game primarily. Game is not a numbers game. It really isn't. It has an element of a numbers game to it, but I wouldn't advise you to approach it like it's a numbers game. I would advise you to approach it like it's a winner takes all type of game. Does that make sense? And as long as you put yourself in the best position to win, then you'll win more times than you don't. The reason most guys out there are losing most times they win is because they're just kind of scattering their effort everywhere. I'm very about focused and detailed effort. Does that make sense? That's why almost any girl... Okay, let me put it like this. Every guy that runs game correctly has a point of no return. Let me explain. There's a point where you're talking to a girl, or girls in general, where you must believe that once it gets to this point, there's nothing she can do. I'm going to fuck her at some point. That point for me is getting her out on a date. For some guys, it's not even that. Most guys have to wait till they get a first kiss or they get a second kiss or the second date to be able to guarantee within their minds that, oh yeah, I'm going to get some butt cheeks at some point. For me, if she makes the mistake of coming out to see me, even if the reason she came out wasn't pure, genuine desire, as long as I have that one-on-one conversation with her, that in-person 10-minute conversation with her, that's it. It's over. That's all I need. That's all I need. I actually call it a quirk. Like I said, I'm a fan of anime, and I watch My Hero Academia. I call my quirk persuasion. I'm not even kidding. It's a quirk. As long as I can have eye contact with them and talk to them for a minimum of 10 minutes, it is over. I'm going to fuck them if I choose to. Because my game is really strong from that point on. Now, to that point, I don't have a lot of control. Nobody does. Nobody does. A lot of all these factors outside of your control that you just can't control. It is what it is. But once I get her on a date, it is over. It is over. And I'll teach you the system I do that with the interview course. I'll let you know when that comes out. Let's see. How do you get the girl you wanted from the start? The same way you get the girl you kind of sort of wanted. Wanting her from the start doesn't change how hard it is to get her. How do you get the girl you wanted from the start? Maybe elaborate on that. I don't know, but the same way you get every other girl. That's it. I mean, hold on. Are we talking about a girl that you wanted that you messed up with? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Or are you talking about a girl that, what's the issue here? What's the situation? Really let me know. Damn, I should have brought a bottle of water. I'm thinking, should I go drive and get some water? You guys want to drive with me? I wonder. Maybe we should drive. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm parched right now. Oh, wait a minute. I missed some questions. My bad. Shit. Thoughts on Andrew Tate, real fake, his philosophy. Andrew Tate's really good, man. Andrew Tate's really good. I think he's really good. Actually, I think he's a genius. I think he's got, of all of them in this industry, he might be the only one that puts a little fear in my heart, honestly. He's very good. He's very good. He's very good. I'll put it like this. I haven't heard anything from him yet that I don't agree with. Everything he said so far is in complete congruence to someone that gets women consistently. As someone that does that too, yeah, he knows what's up. He definitely knows what's up. He's the real deal. There's a few people like that I can talk about. I was just talking about this guy the other day. What's his name? The one white dude. Something X, no, Z, it just came to me. Cassie Zander. I predicted a while ago Watch this kid crack. I'm happy I'm right about that. He cracked. If you're familiar with Cassie Zander, he just released a video about he's not talking about dating anymore. So of course you're not. Of course you're not. Because you never were about this life. You never were. The guy's gone through one breakup and his entire business model is now gonna change. Ridiculous. Don't talk about stuff you don't know about. Just leave it to the professionals. It is what it is. Don't talk about stuff you don't know about. How much does size matter? Length, girth, asking for a friend. Asking for a friend. How much does size matter? The truth is, if it's unbelievably small, then yeah, there's a problem there. I'm sorry to say, but it's true. I don't know what the actual, I can't give you a number. Like if it's under 1 inch, maybe that would be the number. If it's under 1 inch, you're fucked. But here's the thing. I did briefly study this out of pure curiosity. You won't believe the shit I've studied out of pure curiosity. But I was just like thinking to myself at one point, man, is God really unfair to just create people with tiny penises? What kind of practical joke is that? So I did studies up on like, I did research on like just the entire concept of micro penises and all that. And I'll tell you right now, micro penises only mostly exist with people with an excessive amount of fat. So right there, if you lose weight, you'll get some more dick. Plain and simple. Like, if you go on Google right now and search micro penises, I know, no homo, but if you go on Google right now and search micro penises, all the pictures and examples you'll see are fat dudes. That's not an accident. You won't see one with a six-pack. That's all I'm saying. So, if you don't want a micro penis, stay under 15% body fat. You should be fine. I think at that point, everyone has enough dick. Even if it's like just 2 inches, you can do something with it. And if you, for whatever reason, can't find a way to do that, then overcompensate with the foreplay. Get some toys involved, man. You're not less of a man for using toys. Get a toy or two. Do what you gotta do, all right? I'm Nigerian. I don't have that problem. I'm sorry, but it's true. Being Nigerian is awesome on a genetic level. It kind of is. Sorry. So, yeah. If that's an issue you have, or your friend, as you said, yeah, just lose some weight. You'll be fine. You remind me a lot of RSD Todd, not gonna lie. I take that as a compliment, man, because I do consider him one of the greats. I do. There's very few guys like us anymore in the industry that approach game very analytically, very technically. Most guys are either talking about stuff that won't help, like, fellas, you need to hold frame and dumb shit, but very few people attack game from like a systems and strategy point of view, which is what you need to get good at game quickly. You need a plan, you need a strategy, you need the balls to execute on this plan and strategy correctly. Okay? You reckon Andrew Tate got better game than you? No, but he has better results than me. Let's put it like that. Then again, if I had $30 million, I'd probably have better results than him. I don't mean to brag, but it's true. Having money puts you in direct access to certain things and people a lot easier. I know for a fact that at his level, I would do amazingly well, because even though I'm not at his level yet in terms of like access to wealth, I'm killing it. I'm killing it. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I can sit here comfortably and say I'm doing better than all your favorite rappers, celebrities, and all that. Straight up. I'm not even kidding. I got the receipts to prove that for days. I'm doing better than them. And I'm not a rapper. I'm not a singer. I'm not a football player or anything crazy like that. So, yeah, absolutely. If I had that kind of access, it's over. Is it possible to get a chick taller than you? Tall chicks are actually one of my major fetishes. I'm not even going to lie. It's not about, is it possible for you? It's about, do you have the confidence level for that? Because the major thing with getting with taller chicks isn't even like the actual height differential. It's the confidence discrepancy. she will try to use her height over you as a way to shit test you. You have to have the confidence to push through that resilience and just dismiss it. In fact, to be honest, whenever I meet a taller girl, what I do is I frame it in such a way to make it look like her height might be a disadvantage. So I go, oh, you're taller than me. That's crazy. Don't worry, it's fine. I like you so far. You're cool. See that? So I push her in her head immediately before she even begins to like, because tall girls will do that on purpose. Oh, you're too short for me. I only date guys that are 6'6" and above. I'm 6'2", mind you. And so if a girl's taller than me, it's special. And yeah, I've dated quite a few of those. But just gotta be like, it's fine. It's fine. I like you so far. You're good. I don't care about it. It's fine. And boom, now she's in her head. Right? Easy. Do you recommend going to college? No, don't do it. And you're talking to someone that got done with high school at 16, mind you. You're not talking to a dumbass. I tell people I got done at 16. The truth is I got done at 15. But my birthday was, what was it? It was like a week before my graduation ceremony. So I graduated at 16. But I wrote my last term paper as a high school student at 15. I was done with high school at 15, dude. And then I got into college at 16 and dropped out after a year. Because when you're me, you have loftier goals than college. So didn't need that. And looking back, it would have really hindered my progress in many ways. One, it would have destroyed my vision for what's possible for the world. In terms of, the way I make money right now is ridiculous. I'm not saying I'm even making crazy amounts of money, but the fact that I can just go to bed and wake up and look at my account and there's more money in it and I had to do nothing else, crazy, right? College doesn't teach you how to do that. I'm sorry. College didn't teach me how to build my entire website from scratch, or, how to process payments, how to, all these skills I have. Remember when the drop shipping thing was a big thing? I was one of the guys that went in on drop shipping. I mean, my biggest month was like $20,000 a month in revenue, but the profit margins in that job, in that industry, is ridiculously thin. So I wouldn't advise anyone to go do drop shipping unless they just wanted to do it for what I did it for, which is just gain experience in online business, right? So it was good for that. And a lot of those skills transferred to now, because again, who do you think built the website y'all go get the course from? You know what I mean? Did that whole shit from scratch by myself. I mean, I got one of my girls to help me type out the copy. Type it out. I wrote the copy, but she typed it out for me because I don't like to do menial tasks like that. But yeah, college didn't teach me any of that. YouTube videos taught me that. Courses taught me that. Mentors taught me that. So college is not, no. The next thing, which is even more important in my opinion, ironically, is your game. A lot of people have weak game because of where they train their game. If all you've known is running game in colleges, you're at a massive disadvantage, my friend. Because like I said before, the best way to go about improving your game is cold approach. Social circle game is, first of all, it's not even real. I don't even call it social circle game. I call it default game because that's how you're supposed to meet girls when you have no other options. So I don't know why people call it social circle game. If you had no cold approach, no online game, how else would you have met girls? In your social circle. Duh. But college game is another bad one because you're meeting girls in college campuses, and the only barrier to entry for a girl that goes to college is just tell her what your major is. In fact, if you're talking to a girl in college, on a college campus, at some point within the first 40 seconds of the interaction, she's going to ask you what your major is. That's it. Now you're in. Just make up a major if you're not in college, or tell her what your major is if you're in college, and boom. Now you're in there. It's not hard. There's no such thing as college campus game. It's just be a college student. And the problem is people try to take those same skills, lackluster skills, and transfer them to real life cold approach, and they fail woefully because the girl that's, standing on that in the grocery aisle of the Whole Foods is not. She doesn't care about your major. She doesn't. She doesn't feel safer generally around with you just because you happen to go to the same school or her brother is in the same frat as you. There's no N in cold approach, which is why it's harder, which is why your game is better for exercising that way. Just saying, which one helps to build bigger muscles? 10-pound dumbbells or 40-pound dumbbells? You choose, all right? Let's see. How to get girls way out of my league. Have unbelievable self-belief. Have unbridled confidence. The only way to talk to girls that are 10s and 9s is to have a God complex almost. I am not even kidding. If you cannot look at girls and be like, I'm the best thing that's ever happened to you, you know that, right? And not break eye contact, you're not fucking 10s. In fact, if you just heard me say that and you went, oh, what? I already know you're not. You don't have any 10s in your life. That's normal if you have 10s in your life. I'll give you an example. This is how I knew I had to start dating 10s consistently. This is like 4 or 5 years ago when I was still messing around with 5s and 6s. And I had managed to get my way into a 7. And my confidence was going up because I had a lot of things going on for myself. So my confidence was reaching an all-time high for the time. It's 20 times that now. And the girl I was with, a 7, a very cute 7, but a 7 nonetheless, was the one that taught me that, okay, maybe I should stop messing around with 7s. Because here's the thing. When your confidence gets past a certain point, you can't date lower level girls anymore. So it's not even how do you get 10s. The problem is your confidence isn't at a 10 level yet. If you had 10 level confidence, you wouldn't be asking me how to get 10s. You would just have 10s. It would just happen. Okay? But back to the story. I remember one time, again, because my confidence was going up, and there's things that you will naturally do when your self-belief is high. So we're at, I want to say Chipotle. Probably was Chipotle. I go there religiously. Because I still have friends there and I get free food. We're at Chipotle, I'm going to say. And she said something. I thought it was funny. I laughed. Then she goes, oh, I love you. I love you, Jason. And then I go, of course you do. I know you love me. Because that's how you respond when your confidence is at an all-time high. Ask any of my girlfriends today. When they say, I love you, I naturally quick response, I know. Or, of course you do, bitch. It's me we're talking about. Something braggadocious like that. Because that's normal. You tease like that. When your confidence is high, you break rapport without even realizing. Here's the problem, though. I did that with a 7. So when I said, oh, yeah, I know. She dead at, I swear, hand to God. She began to cry. She began to cry. Like, oh, why would you say that? I told you I love you. What, don't you love me anymore? Like, and I remember just looking at her teary face, and all the Chipotle workers, some of which I knew, were coming up to me like, is everything okay, man? What's going on? Do you need some water? And this girl is crying, and I'm just like, I need to start fucking hotter girls, man. Because you don't get that experience with 10s. You just don't. When your confidence is high, when I tell my girls that are 10s, when they say, I love you, and I go, oh, yeah, I know, they throw themselves at me. They love high levels of God complex almost. You understand? So that's how to get a 10. Get your self-belief up. I have an entire course about it if you want to see. Go see my free course and then click the link in that bio. See. Eye contact is key, absolutely. Nice 3-part course, bro. Appreciate it. I hope you got some value from it, though. Hope you're implementing. When cold approaching, how do you make a girl comfortable quickly? The goal is not to make her comfortable quickly. That is a big mistake. That is a big mistake. In fact, if your game is comfort oriented, all you'll get is 6 and 7s. If you want 10s, you got to make it more tense. You got to make it more anxiety filled. You got to make it so that she feels pressure to be around you. You got to make her feel anxiety. So I would focus on doing more things that exude and project strength and power. The goal is not to be comfortable or to have her feel comfortable. The goal is to have her feel anxious. Watch my channel, go to my course. I have an entire part of the course dedicated to tension. It's part 3. It's the last part of the free course. Click the link in my bio on my TikTok. Go and see that entire course. Go and watch the 3rd part specifically. That'll teach you everything you need to know about tension. Tension creation, tension marination, as in how to let it sit and how long to let it sit, and then how to release it you can create that relief from the tension and make her feel gratitude towards you so you can increase her compliance. Go and watch part 3 of my free course. It's all there. You reckon a chick being short is less attractive? It's harder to be attractive when you're shorter as a woman. If she's 5 feet, I mean, again, Iggy Azalea and Annette Garcia, these girls are 5'10". And the reason height works for beauty is because of proportionality. When they're short, everything is compact, and something go the wrong way too quickly. Again, just my personal opinion. I'm not saying there's no such thing as a beautiful short woman. I'm just saying height just makes everything look better. On a woman, at least. So I tell short guys, if you're short yourself, lucky you. That means you now have the motivation and the right to go for taller chicks. Because you can tell yourself, I'm not going to let my kids be 5'3". I want a 5'10" hoe. And then just have the confidence to approach 5'10" women, and boom. Tall kids. Congratulations. You need to come to Finland if you think Iggy Azalea is a 10. What's in Finland? Hotter chicks than Iggy? Absolutely, I'm down. I'm not saying Iggy is the hottest girl on planet Earth, but this is why I don't even like the 1 to 10 scale. I go by the Patrice O'Neal scale. I go by the Dante Nero scale, which is the 1 to 30. 1 to 10 is ugly chicks. 11 to 20 is eye-looking chicks, average. And then 21 to 30 is beautiful girls. Like truly beautiful, stunning women. Iggy would be a solid 20. I want to put her up. She's above average even on the beautiful scale. I would say she's a solid 27. She ain't no 28 or 29 or 30. Well, she's a 27. She's 27. If you're saying in Finland there's 29s and 20, I mean, okay, let's be honest here. The difference between every girl on the beautiful scale, or most girls on the beautiful scale, especially the higher parts of it, and every other girl, is makeup and plastic surgery. Like, surprise, surprise, all those girls look different when they just woken up out of bed in the morning. Sorry. Iggy doesn't look like that when she's breastfeeding her kid. Okay? But, let me know. Send me pictures from Finland. Let me know what's up. If you're on the course, send it to my email. You have my email. Send it to my email. By the way, thanks for no problem, man. I actually plan to put out a few more courses and not because I'm the most generous guy. I feel like the best way to go about teaching you what I know is just giving you guys the basic and the foundation for free, and then you can pay me for the stuff on top later. But I don't see the point in selling a course like, here's how tension works A to Z. Here's the mindset you should have. Why would I sell that? When I can give that to you for free, you can go out there, try it out for a little bit, see it get you some results, and then realize, if I want to improve, I can pay this guy for more stuff later. That's just how I think, personally. Is the good girl a myth? Yes, it is. There is no good girl in the wild. You got to create them. You got to make them from scratch. You reckon being 5'8" is a big detriment? I'm a tall 5'8", by the way, in great physique. No, when I was talking about height, I was talking about women specifically. As a guy, who cares what height you are? Okay, it's easy for me to say. I'm 6'2", right? But here's the thing. I was a late bloomer. So even though I'm 6'2", like the running joke is I'm 6'2", but really I'm 5'11" with a big head. That's the running joke. And I say that because there was a point in my life where I was stuck at 5'11", 5'10" for a good 3 years. And then I had another growth spurt, and that's how I became 6'2". But in my young adult life, I was mostly 5'11". And I would wish every day I was, 6 feet even. I would tell people I was 6 feet. I would lie about that. I'm 6 feet. I would stretch my neck out like this. But I'm going to tell you, and that's kind of the ironic thing about being 5'11". Being 5'8" is better than being 5'11", because 5'11", you're so close. But at least 5'8", you already kind of know it's never going to happen. You're okay with being 5'8". But here's the thing about height in general. First of all, these hoes don't know what 6 foot looks like. If I told a girl I'm 5'9", she would believe me. Let's get it out the way. This whole height thing is something we as men use to get into our own heads, and women conveniently use as a shit test. But height doesn't matter as much as men think it does. Now, granted, some people would say, oh, there's a biological aspect to it. Women feel safer with bigger men. Women feel safer with men that make them feel small. And that's very true. But who said you need to be 6'5" to make a woman feel small? Who said that? You can make a woman feel small with one egg. One single push-pull, and boom, she's in her head. It's like the thing I told you about with the taller chicks thing. Just be like, you are taller, but it's fine. It's whatever. As long as you don't do anything to creep me out, you're good. I like you so far. Let's get to know each other. Boom. All of a sudden, the fact that you're shorter doesn't matter. It doesn't. You have to think about playing game from a place in a position of power. Once you have a position of power, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to worry about shit like, oh, I'm not tall enough. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. All your favorite artists are all under 6 feet anyway. So pickup artists, not these red pill guys or these black pill guys. Actual guys that are going out there to talk to women. Most of them are not my height. Let's be honest here. So there's really no excuse. Now you're probably going to be asking, what if you're unbelievably short, like 5'3"? Absolutely there's a disadvantage to that. Because now you almost look like a kid, right? So what would be the solution to that? Don't look like a kid. Literally. Build muscle. Get jacked. Be 5'3". Be jacked. Be a jacked 5'3". And then improve your life in all the other areas, especially your game. Boom. Now you're making progress. But you don't need to see your height as a disadvantage. Whether you're tall or you're short, you still need to make some degree of progress and put in some degree of effort for your game. Some less than others, but it is what it is. Everybody's got to put effort in this shit. Everybody. Let's see. I'm like opposite, 6'3", but not a great physique. Still got to put in effort, my boy. Is this what we're doing now? We're doing the height thing, everybody. Everybody tell me what your height is. How tall are you? Go ahead in the comments, everybody. Tell me what your height is. How tall are you? I'm 6'2", I already said that. How tall is everybody? You got 5'11", you got 6 feet, 6'3". What was the first two? 5'8". Okay. Also add in if you are if you got great physique, not as good physique, whatever you want to add in. Let me know what you guys think are your advantages. Because here's another funny thing about how advantages work. And type while I'm talking about this. When I first got to America 7 years ago, I genuinely thought that being dark-skinned was a disadvantage. Now, why would I say that? Simple. Because I grew up in Nigeria. And all my life in Nigeria, I was taught the same thing. That on the sexual and dating marketplace, being a darker skinned person. Oh, let me accept. Ooh, I'm live with someone. Yay!
How many viewers you got over there?
Who is that though? Is that a bunk bed?
Yeah.
I know the underneath of a bunk bed when I see one. Is that a bunk bed? Yeah, that's a bunk bed. That's the underneath of a bunk bed.
Yes.
You're not gonna say hi, man? Oh wait, hold on. My bad. I gotta put my Bluetooth here. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Nobody talking? All right, just chill over there, bunk bed guy. Anyway, back to my story. Growing up in Nigeria, everyone is dark-skinned. Every single person. Match invitation? What does that mean? Didn't I already accept this? I don't know what that means. Anyway, growing up in Nigeria, every person where I'm from looks pretty much like me, right? So that means being a dark-skinned guy on the sexual and dating marketplace is not that valuable, right? That's why I tell dudes, like, if you're white, if you're Hispanic, go to Nigeria there, because it's going to be easier for you to get girls over there because you don't look like the rest of us. See what I'm saying? So I genuinely thought coming to America, those same rules applied. Turns out in America here, guys that look like me are the minority and are scarce, and as a result have some value placed on us. So everything just kind of clicked. You see what I'm saying? So even the things you think are disadvantages are not disadvantages. They just happen to be perceived as a disadvantage depending on where you are. For instance, I would genuinely advise every guy, go out there, get a great physique. But if you are fat, a lot of countries out there that think being fat is a flex, because maybe it's a poor country, maybe it's not a country where it's not as easy to have enough access to resources to be on a caloric surplus. So you being on a caloric surplus makes you look baller. It's a status symbol. You see my point? Just something to put in mind, something to keep in mind. Those things that you might think are like a bad thing might not be. Real talk. Let's see. Super great physique. Mostly. Oh, okay. Let me see. Everyone's in there. 5'8", physique and confident. Excellent. I like that. 5'7", slim. Hello, handsome. Hello, handsome, I guess. Ayol Malik. It's probably a Nigerian too. What's up, bro? I think I'm considered morbidly obese. If you're in America, you're probably seen as average. Ha ha. American joke. I'm an immigrant. I got to make one of those every once in a while, or our heads explode. 5'10", great physique, very muscular. Always great to have muscles in the sexual and dating marketplace. It's a giant advantage. Get some muscles, guys. 5'11", 181 centimeters. Oh, yes, indeed, the metric system. Better than average physique. Excellent. I like to hear that. 6 foot. People, please say I don't look like it. I don't know why. You're probably like me then. You probably have a giant head. I'm 6'2". People think I'm 5'11". I don't blame them. And you probably have like small man athletics. So I'm 6'2", but I can do something like, for instance, when I run 100 meters, my starting time is quick, which is rare for taller people. When you're taller, you have a weak starting time on the tracks, and then you kick into your stride length as you go down the stretch. I have both that are fairly great, like pretty fucking good actually. If I trained hard enough, I'd be an Olympian. But that means you have a great center of gravity. So you don't look tall, but you are. You're just like me in that way. It is what it is. All you got to do is have a physically dominating presence, and you'll make up for that. What are we talking about? Bitches. So we talking about this game. Ever considered coming to the UK? Already been to the UK, man. I had an auntie. She passed away. In the UK, in fact. She had a tumor in her head. Yeah, sad times. But I wanted to go see her in the UK before she eventually passed away, and you know, the Nigerian embassy is a weird place, and I couldn't get my visa on time. So me and my mom, we went there, and we had to go see her grave. It's sad, but it is what it is. So, but yeah, the UK is an interesting place. Do I like the UK? Only because it's got a lot of Nigerians in it. The UK is Nigeria with more white people and more Indian people. That's really how I think the UK is. It's Nigeria with cleaner streets, smaller cars that are right-handed steering wheel, weirder license plates, older buildings, and a lot more cameras. That's really what the UK is. Oh, and I don't know, even the UK has a ridiculous population. Like I think there's like 4 million people in London alone. In Lagos, there's like about 6 million people. So it's overpopulated too. Same difference. But yeah, the UK was a lot of fun. The UK was life-changing, actually. The UK is where I discovered 2 of my favorite magician acts. Darren Brown, which by the way led me down a path of like persuasion and all that. Darren Brown is where I first heard about like, you know, neuro-linguistic programming, conversational hypnosis. Because of him, my life took a completely different trajectory back in 2014. So yeah, shout out to Darren Brown. If you don't know who that is, Jesus Christ, what have you done with your life so far? Go and watch every special he's put out. I was in the UK when he released The Art of Robbery. So I saw Enigma after that, and I saw the other ones after that. But when I was there, The Art of Robbery came out. In fact, here's another thing that happened. The second magician act was Troy von Scheibner. And the week I was there, in fact, the last day I was in the UK was the very same day that Troy's the first episode of Troy's TV show was coming out on or E4, I think the channel was called in the UK. But yeah, that if you can trace back to that day that first episode was aired, I was in the UK at that time. I was about to leave the UK at the time, but yeah, I had spent like a month and a half or so. So yeah, the UK is fun. UK is fun. The chicks there are interesting though. Ever consider? Oh, no, I already read that. Thoughts on Hamza? The Pakistani dude. God bless him, man. God bless him. The industry needs kids like him, but be careful where you get game advice from. I think he's qualified to teach you how to give you like self-improvement tips. As for game, give him some time to like get better. I'm not gonna go out and say I'm not gonna go and say his game sucks, but he's a young kid. He's in his early 20s. He's getting some money. He's a good kid. He'll learn more, but yeah, just be careful with like who you get game advice from. Thoughts on Australia? I have only one experience with Australia, and that is my Australian ex. If I can, again, this is probably a bad thing to do, but if I were to assume all Australians are like her, then I would just say, y'all are fun as shit. Y'all are fun as a motherfucker. Watch the alcohol, though. Like, seriously. The one major thing I did in her life before I left it was just help her not be an alcoholic anymore. That she will forever be grateful to me for that. So, watch it on the alcohol. And stop being friendly with every fucking animal. They're not all cool. Some of them will kill you. Well, you already knew that. But stop. You don't all have to be fucking Steve Irwin out here. Like, chill. Let's see. Love your analogy on the awkward silence video. You're absolutely right. Thank you. I know the one you're talking about. It's the one where I actually talk about how to be the interviewer. I cheated on my woman. She wanted to leave, but I held on and convinced her to stay. Lots of tension. Don't ever convince a girl of anything. It's a waste of your time. Besides, if she stayed, then that means she already wanted to stay. All you ended up doing was giving her unnecessary validation. I would cheat on her again just to even things out. You should visit Kenya, bro. We have the most feminine women. I know you have fucking feminine. What? Breaking up from my Kenyan ex was one of the hardest things I ever had to do, man. One of the hardest things. Oh, that ass was fat, though. God damn. But, nah, it had to be done. I don't take disrespect. It had to be done. She was feminine, but she got a little too comfortable. That was my fault, though. That was my fault. I should have ruled with maybe not an iron fist, but at least a cement fist. You know what I mean? But, I mean, Kenyan or not, Kenyan, Nigerian, South African, Australian, British, American, no matter what women, no matter what part of the world you meet them at some point, they all get too comfortable. Your job is to make sure it never gets to that point, and if it does, you act accordingly, and you create separation. You take away your validation. You withdraw immediately. You reckon it's bad to cheat on a chick? Absolutely not. In fact, I have this joke I make. If I weren't this guy, the guy that taught game, I hope I'm still connected. If I weren't this guy, the guy that taught game, what I would be instead is a marriage counselor. And now what I would do as a marriage counselor, I would just accept each couple. I would say the goofy marriage counselor nonsense that the woman wants to hear. Why don't you listen to her more? Why don't you? All that nonsense. Then I would send her out of the room, and then I would wait for her to be gone and take off my glasses and be like, listen, nigga, you fucking up. Here's what you need to do. You need to start cheating on her immediately, and you need to let her catch you cheating. And then when she catches you cheating, you throw her hands up in the air like this. It is what it is. It is what it is, baby. Because, ironically, the best way to keep a relationship together is to do everything to destroy it. I know that sounds mad toxic, but let me explain myself. The problem with us as men especially in today's society, is that we've been taught that in order to keep a relationship going, we have to de-escalate and minimize problems. When in reality, the opposite is true. The more you try to break rapport, the more she'll try to seek it. So when I say cheat on a girl and it'll make her want you more, it sounds toxic until you look at it from a practical point of view and realize the reason she doesn't want you in the first place is because there's probably a part of her mind that's telling her she can replace you, or she doesn't need you, or she can do without you. The moment you show her that the opposite is the truth, the respect for you will go up. Inevitably. It'll go up. It'll go up. I talk about all of this, by the way, in my free course. Click the link in my TikTok bio. Go and see the free course. Let's see. Someone just became Daddy Stop. No, that's hilarious. Thanks, man. Thanks for the rose. I already talked about Andrew Tate. He's cool. He's a G. He knows what he's talking about. Who is the most famous girl you ever? Ooh, the most famous girl I ever. That's a good question. I have an ex back in Nigeria that may or may not have become a finalist in the Miss Nigeria beauty pageant. That's all I'm gonna say. Is she even the most? Nah, hold on. I got an Instagram model right now with, I don't know, 200 and something thousand followers on Instagram. I don't know. How would you measure fame is my thing. That's the thing. How would you measure? I've been with actresses, but okay, so like the most famous actress I've been with has been in a lot of very, like, she has a cult following for like certain indie films. So she's very famous, but only in that very small niche, right? She's not no big star or nothing like that. But, you know, if I were to say her name, some people here might know her. Just saying. Who would be the most famous? Most famous. It would depend on how you would measure fame. That's really what it comes down to. It would depend on how you would measure fame. Let's just put it like that. How common are STDs? Damn thing just clear with me, thanks. How common are STDs? Not as common as people think they are. And most of them are pretty curable. Like me personally, I've had two. Crabs and chlamydia. Crabs was, well, they both took a week to clear. So crabs, they just give you this cream, rub it down on your pubes, it's all gone. And you do it like twice a day for a week. Chlamydia is an antibacterial regimen. You just got to take this certain groups of antibacterial tablets for a week straight, and then it's all gone. But, I mean, my first one was after my first 30 bodies, and then I didn't get that second one until I was well over 100. So, not as common. But then again, I mean, be careful, use condoms. Depending on the girl, she'll give you clues in her personality as to how sexually active she is in general. I would say in general, though, for 10s, just assume they're sexually active. Although, fuck them, rather. I didn't give you that as advice. I'm just saying, like, I kind of get into this in the interview. The best way to stick out in a girl's mind is to give her experiences she's never had. One good way to go about doing that, my personal opinion, you don't have to do this, is to fuck her on the first date and come inside her. She's not quickly going to forget about the guy who came inside her on the first date. And if you can pull it off, fuck her again. Same first date. Make sure you're fucking girls more than once on every time. Every time you fuck them, make sure you fuck them more than once. There's a whole thing to it. I get into it in the interview. We'll talk about that later. Kenya. Oh, you're talking to someone else. How'd you find your mentor? I got lucky, man. I didn't find my mentor. My mentor found me. Okay, so first of all, it depends on the mentor. I've had quite a few mentors. The first ones just kind of found me. Some I've had to go out and find. Some I've had to pay for. But in general, my first ones, they just kind of landed them in my lap. So my first one was actually a man I met in church. And I don't know if I can go into this quite yet. I'm not quite ready to go into all that yet, but basically a few of I was born and raised in the church, so my first few mentors were all like pastors, and they all trained me in their craft, which is how to be a pastor. So if you're like, how does this Nigerian kid know how to be like such a good orator? That's how. They like really imparted in me the importance of learning how to speak English, learning how to speak English correctly, storytelling, persuasion, sales, stuff like that. Because being a pastor is selling Jesus, and selling Jesus is just like being any other kind of salesman, except instead of selling anything else, you're selling, the word of God, the gospel, stuff like that. So I owe a huge part of my skill set to the church, for sure. My first few mentors were from there. And then after that, it just became more game-oriented. Pickup artists, pimps, stuff like that. But the best way to find a mentor in this day and age, I'm not going to lie, is to pay them. Straight up. Like, straight up. And the reason for that is simple. We're busy people. Anyone that's in a position to, like, teach other people is good enough to teach it to multiple people. So that means we can just create something once and just spread it and propagate it to other people at the same time without having to duplicate ourselves. Well, we duplicate ourselves digitally is how we do it. So for you to be able to get one-on-one time with someone, either they have a vested interest in you as an emotional investment in you, or you're paying them straight up. That's how you do it. Let me see. I think I skipped some. My bad. CERN. What's CERN? I don't know. Do you think marriage is important? No, not really. It's just another strategy you can employ. Marriage is just as important as moving in with a girl. It's not that important long term, but it's just another step you can take. Can you please throw some more light on the concept of tens? Oof, absolutely. Because this is where I reign supreme. Tens are on a different planet. And you have to understand that. That's why most guys can't get tens. Because they can't see the world through a 10's eyes. I actually give this analogy all the time. Think of it like a cult. I think I say this in the course, actually, but I'll say it here. Think of it like a cult, a cult, a high society. And the society is called the secret society of 10s. And this is how it goes, right? Every year, the secret society of 10s meets in a secret location, and they have a meeting about just what's it like to be a 10, blah, 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 blah. But here's the thing. They attend that meeting, and as much as they exchange cold words and secret handshakes, they don't show each other's faces. So they attend the meeting with masks on. So the only way they can know each other or who the members of the cult are outside of the meeting, outside of the secret society annual meeting, is to exchange those codes with each other. And those codes are knowing what the experience of a 10 is. If you can talk to a 10 and you can talk to her as if you are used to being around 10s, instant connection with you. Instant. But you got to know how they function, though. You got to know what their lives are like. And that's what I specialize in. How to communicate with a 10 in such a way that a 10 understands that you are used to being with a 10. Because that's what you really need for getting with 10s consistently. You don't need to be a 10 to get with a 10 consistently. You don't need to convince a 10 that you are a 10 yourself. That's not necessary. You just need to convince them that you're used to being around 10s and you know how to function around 10s. Think Pete Davidson, perfect example. He's not a 10. Everyone knows he's not a 10. But the reason you see all these girls in the higher echelon of society just being so comfortable around him is because he knows exactly how to exist around 10s. You get my point? Yeah. Let that marinate. Yeah, that's some bars. Being with a 10 is easy, but you have to understand, the things you're doing that make you attracted to 7s are usually the things that make you unattracted to 10s. So going back to that secret society thing, when they come out in the world, they don't know who the other 10s are. They don't know, because again, in the meeting, they all wore masks. So the way they find out who the other 10s are is to ping signals at each other. Let me say this thing and see how you respond. The way you respond is what they'll use to know, okay, this guy's one of me. He's one of us. He's a 10 too. And then boom, just like that, they just start flowing with you. The vibe just clicks. What's the word I'm looking for? They just instantly connect with you on a vibe level. You know what I mean? So I'll give you an example. Again, I'll keep saying this. There's a reason Andrew Tate looks so braggadocious in all his videos. That's how I know he gets tens. Not even what he says, how much money he makes or anything like that. It's the fact that he uses words like perspicacity. Do you understand? That's, boom, instantly. That guy fucks tens. That guy fucks tens. Nobody uses, like, how many words do I use on a daily basis? That's how you know I fuck tens. Does that make sense? Anyone that speaks about themselves in the third person fucks tens. Anyone you knows that has a God complex about themselves, that isn't uncomfortable speaking of themselves highly, they fuck tens. They definitely fuck tens. Do you understand? All right. Your confidence has to match. I'm not dwell too long on that. I'll probably just make a course about it too at some point. Is the self-belief your only course? No, I have two courses. I have a free one on YouTube, and I have a self-belief one that's paid that you can get through my YouTube. But if you're talking about, is that the only paid one? Yes, for now. Yes, it is. But within it is free email coaching, so I would take advantage of that. Setting up my apartment, my fiance wants to be involved, but I said no. Cool. I mean, do what you want, dude. Or if you, me personally, I don't even want to set up my apartment. I'll let my girls do that shit. I have things to do. I have better things to do. I don't have time to be decorating shit. I have a picture of a waterfall in my house. You think I got that shit? No, one of these bitches did. I don't care. She said, your house looks so empty. Why don't you have decorations and go handle it, bitch? So she got me that and like a bunch of galaxy lights. I don't even care about galaxy lights, but she likes it, so whatever. I first understood tent. Tent, my bad. Oh, I get a lot of tents too, boy. Yeah, I get tents. Mad tents. You don't even know me. I'm like a camper. Tents. Thanks for sharing more light. Appreciate it. No problem, baby. No, it is 6 p.m. Jesus. I gotta go soon, yo. I gotta go soon. Okay, quick rapid fire questions. Let's go. Maybe 2 or 3 more, then I'm out. I gotta go. Damn. Fuck. See, I just enjoy talking to you guys. God damn it. I've rambled my face off. All right. Wait. Do you believe in loving women? Absolutely. I love all my women. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with love, guys. No. Because I feel like we've gone too far to the other side in my industry, where we talk about like the stoic and powerful things you need to do, and we don't talk enough about like, yo, you should love your women. In fact, I think a huge part of relationships is just lying to women, which sounds ironic, right? Tell her the truth from the jump. Set boundaries and expectations. Yes, you should be doing all those things, but at the same time, I think relationships aren't fun. Or like relationships are meant to be fun. Like you should be like, it's okay to tell your girl and like gas her up. It's okay to gas your girl up and just be like, damn, I just love how beautiful you look. The way that pussy feels is the tightest. Your eyes are just glowing today. It's okay to make them feel like $1,000,000. In fact, I would advise you to do that because you don't want someone else doing that and then becoming a main character in her head. You want to be that guy. You want to be the guy that loves her the most and pisses her off the most as well. So it's okay to love him. Absolutely. Are you kidding me? I was cuddled up with a bitch before I got here. There's nothing wrong with... I should probably start putting out receipts like that too, because that's actually like 90% of my receipts. It's just me pillow talking with bitches. So yeah, that's what I do. I fuck girls. And I've noticed when you fuck girls, either while you're fucking them or afterwards, is when they're so open and honest. So you just get a camera and just start recording, and they just tell you the truth about everything. It's great. It's like they're alcoholic and they just, they can't help but to tell the truth. Okay. How do your girls cope knowing you get with other girls unapologetically? They find a way. I mean, what other choices do they have? be with someone else, they find a way. I'm not saying it's easy for them, but they find a way. When you have value, they'll find a way. That's not your job to worry about. Just present your value, cash it in. They'll find a way. I don't even know how they cope, like on a personal level. Who knows? Maybe they're going to therapy. Maybe they're, oh shit, I almost broke my shit. Oh, I did break it. Fuck. Oh, it just came out. Maybe they're going to therapy. Maybe they're going to a sheik. Maybe they're, I don't know. I don't really care how they're coping, but they're coping. They're coping. They'll find a way. A lot of things in game is just letting the woman deal with the emotional aspects of it. It's not your job to make her be okay with it. It's her job to find a way to be okay with it. And if they want to be okay with it, they wouldn't be with me. That's it. Do you have any infields for us? I don't have any properly filmed infields. Like the old school, let me get my friend to record on camera and I have a hidden mic somewhere. I don't have any of those, but I got so many Snapchat videos. So many Snapchat videos. Which I think is the best kind of infield in my opinion because it's the hardest to fake. Like you won't see anyone else out there with my kind of infields because you can pay a girl to act surprised when you walk up to her on the street. You can't pay a girl to make dick jokes with you in the bed while she's like cuddle up with you and kissing on your face and playing footsies with you and, you know, trying to suffocate you with her titty and all those other crazy games girls play. You can't fake that. You can't fake genuine interest like that. That's why I prefer putting out the Snapchat shit. It's just better. My favorite one right now is the one where I'm punching one of my girls' booties. I'm punching that shit. It's so funny. I dropped the camera off on the corner. I said, wait here, bitch. Watch this. She's doing her makeup in the mirror, and I just start going ham like a punching bag. Shit is fun. I wouldn't even want to steal this guy's girl advice. Approach it like you would be getting any other girl, because every other girl you'll ever get, you're stealing from someone else anyway. So go watch my content and read the books I told you to read. What's the most effective way to reclaim your power back as a man in a relationship? You need to combine isolation with a drastic change in your self-belief. I would really advise you to get the course for that. And if you get the self-belief course, I want to make it so that when you get the self-belief course, you can get the isolation course at half off automatically. That's how I want to set it up. So that if you get it right now, the isolation course is going to be, that's going to be a big one. It's going to be at least $200 at least. And that's me giving it a discount because people sell information like that for what, $3,000 boot camps. So if you want half off on that, go get the self-belief course right now and go through that so that you can combine the information you get in self-belief with isolation, because there's a system to it. There's a reason why every great man that has ever existed before they went out to do great things went through some kind of a period of isolation. Everyone from the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, to Jesus Christ himself, to hell, even Adolf Hitler, Albert Einstein, anyone that has made any significant amount of progress in their life has gone through some period of isolation. I mean, shit, even Andrew Tate, I've heard a video where he said there was a time where he just realized he was so broke and he was tired of being broke, and he just told his brother, listen, I'm going to lock myself in my room for a few days and just put my head in my head in my hands and think about how to make money. Everyone goes through this. I've gone through this. All right. There's a way, there's something we do. There's a process we go through. It's quite a secret thing, but there's a process we go through to go from unsure and uncertain to getting everything we want. And I'll put all that in the course. You'll know. Where do I get it? The course, click the link in my bio on my TikTok. It'll take you straight to the free course on YouTube. And then when you want to get the self-belief course, and I would advise you to go through the free mini course first, then you go into the link in the bio of any of the 3 parts of the free course and go to just click the link there. It should be jacepickupscience.com. That should be the website, jacepickupscience.com. Get the self-belief course right now. Where's the isolation course? Still in progress. That's why I say if you get the self-belief course, your name will be added to a list, and I'll just send that list the half off coupon. I think that's how I'll do it. Or I want to make it really easy for you guys. So if you're already enrolled in the course, you just click a link and boom, you get a half off immediately. That's what I really want. That's what I really want. Or at least you get something like that. Or you get like the first half of the course, of the isolation course, for free type shit. What would you guys rather? Get it half off, the whole thing half off if you buy the self-belief mini course, or you want like the first half of it for free as like a featured course with the self-belief course? What do you guys think? Let me know, because I gotta go. I gotta go soon, guys. No wonder. I've been getting a few calls. I had to put my phone on silent a little bit. But yeah. Oh, by the way, happy 4th of July. For those of us here in America, I'm about to go fuck me a bitch in a red, white, and blue bikini outfit. So, I don't know what y'all be doing with your day. But yeah, that's how it's gonna go for me. The half off? Okay. That's how we doing it? Half off. Alright, hold on. I'm trying to make a reminder real quick through my drop-down notification. Memo. Okay, half off it is then. Alright. Love you guys. Love you guys so much. Thank you so much for the support. I'm gonna have to go enjoy my 4th of July and all that. Enjoy what I gotta enjoy over there. And after I bust all these nuts and so on and so forth and eat all this mac and cheese and hot dogs, then I'll go right back to email coaching. And I promise I'm getting to it. I'm probably gonna stay up till like 3 a.m. tonight just to catch up on all the email coaching I gotta do, okay? So, get the free course, link in the bio. Thank you so much again. I appreciate you guys. Love every single one of you. Thank you. All right. Peace.